I mean, it'll be revealed tomorrow night. I'm like, yeah. Do you feel this weird feeling? I'm having trouble relaxing, and there's just balances and chemicals, and everything's wrong. You don't feel like yourself because it was like it doesn't feel like something at the Super Bowl. You just can't relax. Tonight, you make the call because tomorrow night it's going to be revealed. But tonight, you make the call. Is it Lance, Jones, or other? Because Justin Fields, contrary to what people say, he is not out of this. I don't care what they say. And if the Jets move and go ahead and say, yeah, Jets are on the clock, they think we'll pick Zach Wills. Watch this. And the Jets select Justin Fields, Ohio State. Everybody says, what? If Justin Fields is the 49ers choice, you could hear that clipboard flying all the way across the room inside the 49ers battle room. The Jets would have screwed up a lot of things. And Belichick would have passed out because Belichick thinks he can trade up and get Justin Fields. I don't know what he's thinking, but the rumor is he's going to trade up into the first round to see if he can get Justin Fields. I don't know how high he'd have to go, but come on, man. Are you serious? Justin Fields isn't leaving the top 5 or 6. And even if, no matter what, Justin Fields is not going past 4. There's no way that the Falcons are going to pass. Wait a minute. Kyle Pitts is still going to ruin the life and dreams of some quarterback. Probably. Anyway, tonight we'll be taking your call to get your pick. We're going to record it and celebrate your brilliance tomorrow night. As for those who picked the right quarterback at number 3, you guys give us your pick and explain to us why you think that's going to be the case. You check out George Kittle, though. Fam, do you know how close we came to losing George Kittle to the Seahawks in the draft? Do you know the Hawks were rolling up the draft, trading up, trying to get? I don't know why they thought they could get him past round 5. Well, nobody really knew about George Kittle that much yet, so they were trying to trade up past round because 49ers got him in the 5th round, right? So, yeah, they confirmed it. The Hawks people are saying, yeah, we were just minutes away. Georgia said he was on the phone, I think with some personnel from Seattle. And he said the 49ers picked him up just in time. Ooh. See, that's why trade-ups, and I just, it's a related story because trade-ups, you have to understand, excuse me, trade-ups aren't always what they appear to be. Sometimes trade-ups are made as a strategic move to stop somebody else from getting the player that you want, that you just got intel on, and all of a sudden you moved up. The thing with the 49ers moved to round 3, but what I'm understanding is there's another story floating around as well, is that the 49ers had no intention of going that high in the draft. They could have got what they wanted, but that's what I'm saying. What's really worrisome about that is if you don't like Mac Jones, no, it still applies to Mac Jones. If the 49ers started at number 8, making their way up the draft board to see if anybody would say yes, okay, and they had to go all the way to 3 before anybody said, okay. So, it's really interesting. We'll find out the truth about that probably in the days and weeks and months ahead, maybe years. But, fam, meanwhile, back in Santa Clara, amid all the speculation that the Niners will select Bama quarterback Mac Jones with the number 3 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the team was reportedly still debating who it would draft over the weekend before coming to a decision. So they're still going through all kind of changes in Santa Clara. Appearing on ESPN's Get Up, Adam Schefter reported the 49ers, quote, did not know who they were going to take as recently as this past weekend because the gap between Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields has narrowed considerably during the draft process, unquote. However, I now should say how Shiver. However, Schefter believes that the Niners have come to a consensus on who to pick as of right now, and it better have because they're still trying to argue and figuring out tomorrow night. Goodell's not going to wait. Could you see Goodell now? Guys, guys, we need your pick. Are they telling me they're not ready to make this pick? We're going to move on. So they got to make it now, right? Since the Niners acquired the third pick from the Dolphins last month, the consensus among draft analysts and prognosticators has been that they will draft Jones. Everybody, including the Big Show, has been telling you this, right? Jones is coming off a historic 2020 season at Bama. He threw for 4,500 yards with 41 touchdowns and a 77.4 completion percentage and 13 starts to help the Crimson Tide win the national championship. That is looking good on a resume no matter what anybody. You got to look deep into the whole story in order to not appreciate all that. ESPN Todd McShay reported Monday that San Francisco is divided on which quarterback to take. Head coach Kyle Shanahan preferred Jones. Now, this is being said over and over again, but you can't confirm that. But scouting department was pushing for Lance. Really? The San Francisco 49ers, Santa Clara is like an institution. Nothing gets out of there that they don't want to get out of there. Could they have let that get out of there on purpose? For what? To what end is that, sir? I don't. Shanahan was present at the pro day workouts for Jones, Fields, and Lance, per ESPN's Dan Graciano. The 49ers were extremely involved in Lance's pro day April 19th, including having him work with quarterback coach John Beck at Shanahan's request. And we can't actually confirm that. The Niners are coming off a disappointing 2020 season in which several key starters missed multiple games because of those accursed injuries that we can't seem to stop from happening. What scares me more than any opponent we're going to face this year, what scares me more than any particular thing is, can the 49ers please stay the hell on the field? Because if that happens, everything else will take care of itself. That's what to wish for. They finished last in NFC West with a 6-10 record after reaching the Super Bowl in 2019. Why in 2019 did that happen? Because most of the guys stayed on the team for the whole season. That's pretty much what it came down to. Fam, on this night, before the draft, just like we do before every ball game, you make the call. We will take down your name and record your pick as to who the quarterback will be at number 3. You ready for that? Give it to me. Chat, you can do the same thing. Who's it gonna be? And we will lay props on your butt tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, and if you look at Niner Mike is finally bent to the pressure. He is indeed on social media. And at first I thought it was somebody faking to be Niner Mike because Niner Mike is so loved. So I said, oh man, here comes a burner account using Niner Mike. No, it's Niner Mike. We had an exchange, a couple exchanges. I said, yeah, that's my dude, Niner Mike. So he's at real, all caps, R-E-A-L, at real, R-E-A-L, all caps, Niner Mike, N-I-N-E-R Mike, capital N, capital M. Just search at real. You should get Niner Mike. Oh, let me put on my ears and say hey to Runa. Oh, Runa.
How are you?
Oh, Runa, feeling crazy, feeling giddy, a little weird. This is actually, it's unnerving as before a ball game. Same feeling. So, God, I'll be glad when this is over. But Runa, yes, tonight, who's got their pulse on the minds and souls of the 49ers front office? Maruna, give me some reasoning as to why you think whomever you think is going to be picked at number 3 is going to be the choice.
$1 million question.
More than that. We're talking
More than
25
that.
or 30 million.
Yes, 100 million maybe. I would say it is Lance because I feel like John Lynch has more common sense or more a wider look at the draft class, and he understands the mistake they did with not working hard on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So I believe they would not make the same mistake this time over. So if Lynch is the one who is going to make the final decision, it will be Lance. If not, I'm really afraid that it's going to be Mac Jones.
Okay,
It's going to be a
but
nightmare.
you got to commit. You got to commit, though. Is
Lance.
Cal going to make the choice, or is it going to be John?
I would say it would be John Lynch, and it's going to be Lance.
And he's going to have to talk Kyle into it, too, like he did. He's done several times down through the years. He's had to talk Kyle into things. Even in the first year, remember we heard that Kyle had to bow to John because of defensive needs in 2017, which is why we ended up with Solomon Thomas. And Kyle may bring that up to this year, too. Listen, remember last time I listened to you? So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Woo! So, all right, that's the reason behind that. Well, Bruno, why do you think that maybe Justin Fields is really out of it? Because I still can't believe that.
I think Justin Fields is not out of it, but it's like suddenly after Trey Lance's pro day, media just made the hype about Trey Lance, and they are the ones who basically said, right? I mean, after Mike Lombardi, he was like, "Oh, I have my sources. Either it's going to be Lance or Jones, right?"
Hate when they say that. They won't reveal those sources, but they tell you they have sources in order to lend credibility to the next statement. And it really is no sources. You know that.
Yeah. How can you validate that?
You cannot.
That's a problem. So after that, I think Fields is out of the picture, but I really don't think so. Because, I mean, Jets might surprise us. Maybe they will take Fields. Even Niners still will go for Fields. Who knows?
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking too. Unless the Jets run some weird number on us, that's why this is so much fun tonight to try to make this call. I'm going to go with Lance just because of his dual ability to both play under center, spin his head to the line of the defense coming at him, turn around and still make a throw. He's got plenty of practice at that. He's big, he's strong, he can move, he can run. He's like the future of the NFL, most likely.
Exactly. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the highest ceiling in terms of the quarterbacks that we think is going to be available at number 3. So, that should be the choice because, why, if you were bold enough to give 3 first-round picks to get to this position, then why not draft Lance? He is the best guy that is available, athletically gifted. He's still 19, and within a couple of years, he's going to be a good quarterback, I believe.
And can you imagine the youngest Super Bowl winning quarterback of all time? How old was Russell Wilson when they won that Super Bowl? He was over 20. Russell was like 22 at least, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, definitely over 22. Definitely over 22. Yeah.
So there you go.
Who knows? If things go really well, maybe he would, Lance might be the first rookie quarterback to win the Super Bowl. That can happen too.
Yeah, you could. Because, you never know what's going to happen as far as Jimmy and going down to injury. Lance has to finish up, and he comes in, he's just smoking.
Yeah, remember what happened last season with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was not supposed to start. But eventually, he ended up being the best quarterback, came out of his draft class. He did better than Joe Burrow.
I know. Maruna, good stuff. I'm going to see you tomorrow night after the draft and let you know if you made the right choice.
Let's pray tonight.
And let's. All right.
Okay, have a good night, Ronbo.
You too. Night, Maruna. Oh, big boy Luis. It feels and has been for a while. There's too much smoke surrounding Mac and Trey. And this team only leaks things on purpose. Good call. Thanks for the contribution. Really good call. And Tony Nagatani Can't dial in tonight, Ronbo, but in the name of optimism, with the third pick in the 2021 draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback, NDSU. Put Tony down for Lance. Oh, man. And 49ers Ultimate Report, otherwise known as John. Great 7-round mock draft. Thanks, John. And he says, Niners! And I said, a big show. Wait. Let me read it first. The comedy Big Show, you can read that yourself. I'm not, well, I could, second round, I want running back Lou Sassel from Vegas State. Okay, the other Big Show is definitely got a sense of humor, don't you? Ryan Watkins, it's just Ron Sup. My pick is Trey Lance at third. Enjoy the draft. Oh la la. Should I sing ooh la la tomorrow night for Trey Lance? I should sing for anybody we can. I can't be, whatever they pick, you got to appreciate it. Try to. Robert Slavin says, I got good news. Our 3 overall pick will be in 21 hours from now, and stress can stop. But if they pick Jones, 49er Nation will be upset. And Robert, please always refer to the Niners as 49er Empire, because we devour nations, enslave them. Thanks for that contribution, guys. Oh, man. So, in fact, John, get on in here, man.
Ronbo!
John. Well, here we are at the edge of another incredible adventure. Because games are one thing. I feel that same feeling I do before we get ready to play the Rams or the Hawks. Even the Cardinals nowadays. It's this real giddy, weird feeling. Hey, John, make a pick for tomorrow night, man. We're going to put your name down for it and tell you if you were brilliant or not tomorrow. Who's going to be the pick at number 3?
Oh, Ronbo, it's going to be fun until that pick
Moment
comes in, and I cannot wait. The suspense, has been going on since the 49ers season ended, not just when we made that pick. Trey Lance, I've been calling it, like I said, even before we had the number 3 pick, before the season ended, I liked Trey Lance's intangibles. Everyone, can, criticize me, but the reality is he is raw. He needed that, extra year to see what he needed to do. And I think it's the smartest thing to do, because when John Lynch and the scouting department says that they want Lance, and, of course, Kyle Shanahan, we're not going to get into that. He really likes Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan, hopefully he can, put his pride aside and realize it's about the 49ers. It's not about him. He's not the 49ers. He's not the 49ers. He's the coach. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to make some tough decisions. And even if I'm wrong, I would apologize. I will say I'm sorry to all the Mac Jones guys, because that's the big person who I am. Like I said, I'm not going to be salty. I'm not going to be salty. I do worry about, his long-term future of, how he progresses and how they will develop him, because they're going to develop him in a certain way that fits his skill sets. Justin Fields and Trey Lance, you can open up that playbook. And I want to go with my good friend, Ryan Sakamoto, the Beast Writer. Yeah. He says, he knows Kyle Shanahan. He works in that building with them, and he knows about his arrogance. And he says, no, it's not Mac Jones. If I had to trust someone in the media, I trust him, because at the end of the day, he says that you have to have a quarterback who's able to use their legs, not to run like Lamar Jackson, but someone, if you're being chased down, allows you to run and you go out of bounds to avoid the sack, or throw the ball to allow your receivers to get open. So I like Trey Lance. Hopefully that's the pick. I'll be so surprised and happy at the same time. So that's who I would who I will pick.
There you go. And you came up full circle to explain that to us. That was very good. Ryan Sakamoto does run around that building. Do the 49ers have a training facility right there in the gym, or right there near the building, or in the building? I thought that was down the road a bit.
Yeah, he works in that building. He says basically like, the Niners have been asking that dude to train the 49ers, to stay healthy, and he always turns it down. So as I mentioned, he's the best guy that I would bet on because, he works there. He's not the guys from Connecticut, thousands of miles away. So that's who I would, yeah.
No, I agree. No, I know Ryan's been working there for a while. Him and Eric Armstead had a falling out a couple of years ago, so I was always amused by Ryan running around there. Because, see, this is the thing. If you're a beat writer and you then have to interact with the players on a daily basis, the guys that you took shots at are going to remember you. So him and Eric had something going there for a minute. I guess they've simmered down since then. They may be bros now by now. But anyway, yeah, so... John?
Yeah, so like I said, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. We'll see how the fan base, and hopefully it's some good news. Like I said, I have nothing against Mac Jones. I think if he develops at the right system, he could become a good quarterback. He could be Kirk Cousins, a guy who's a middle-of-the-road, good starter, never elite talent, but never horrible talent. So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, Kyle has to develop that quarterback, not us.
Yeah, no matter what. So he's going to know what he's working with. And we got to learn not to get mad at some of these decisions that are made. I'm still mad, and I was mad before we picked up Solomon Thomas, but I was right. Now, see, what's going to happen this time is we got to be careful. That's why caution is still the word here, Kyle. So please, we'll see what happens, though. All right, John, we're going to move on and see you tomorrow night.
All right, Ronbo, I can't wait for tomorrow night. NFL draft, Trey to the Bay. I hope that's true. I had Niners all day.
Yes, indeed. All right, fam. Have a good night.
All right.
And Luke reacts. Thanks, Luke. Oh, man. He's really getting butterflies. I can't believe it, man. This is like Daniel Serrano. Trey means 3. Yes. Trey means 3. You know it's meant to be. Look at Daniel, man. Daniel, let me hear your rhyme, man. Daniel, thanks for the contribution. That was good. Oh, God. And speaking of it's as John would say, let's hear it again from the originator. Hey, Storm and Norman. Norman. Oh, come on. Norman, there's something wrong with the volume. We ain't getting any audio. Oh, there, I heard a button.
Hello? Can you hear me?
That's all it needed.
Oh, okay. So, shout out to the beautiful, guess what day it is? Shout out to the beautiful women here on this Woman Crush Wednesday. And I'm here to say that I am here to protect your heart, your sanctity from any of these stinking trolls that be trying to disrespect y'all. I'll be hearing about y'all. Y'all need to get slapped. Anyway, and it's Niners all day.
Norm, if you was riding down the road, I'd know that was you. You know that, don't you?
Y'all leave Denise alone. I seen that last night. Y'all foul for that one. I don't like that.
I know, right?
All right, so
some dudes just ain't got no class. We're watching today too. All them dudes still messing with Denise. You're walking on real thin ice. I'm telling you. Denise is bad.
You have no sense, boy, and you have no lesson from a grown man like me.
Yeah,
a grown man like me. I'm gonna show you something.
One word out of line. I ain't gonna hesitate to pull the trigger on you tonight. Right?
Because that's someone's husband. That's someone's wife. Someone's daughter, someone's mother, and someone's sister. And if you mess with any of mine in all 4 of those categories, you're going to get 5 fingers to the face. Anyway, look here. Right. So enough of that. Now we have to talk about football. And what question do you want to ask me, Rama? Go ahead and ask me the question.
Now, here's the thing. Tomorrow night, as like I say, every week before we play ball games, I say, all right, give me that score. And and after the game, we always go back and say who was the one who knew what was up. No, tomorrow night you have many choices, but the media says you've only got 2. Norm, is it Lance? Is it Mrs. Jones, baby boy? Me and Mrs. Jones, or is it other?
Or does it get real in the fields?
And yeah.
So now I'm in the position of I have the same picks that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have.
Okay.
I have 5 that I can see getting picked in this draft. And y'all, watch, y'all, I already know somebody can be like, he's on drugs. He's on. Yeah. So are you for responding. Anyway. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
We were ready.
Okay. Trey Lance. Justin Fields. Kyle Pitts. Najee Harris. And Jamie Newman.
There's not a lot of quarterbacks in that grouping.
There's 3. It's 3. 2 of them in the first. 2 of them that are first rounders.
Oh, okay.
1 that is potential second and third. Then you have a running back, and you have a tight end.
Yeah. Oh, you only. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got one too many.
Now, why didn't I say Mac Jones? I didn't say Mac Jones because I know somebody else before, during, or after this podcast that I'm on is going to say Mac Jones. Why? Because he can, when you have wide receivers like Ayuk and Debo, and you got a tight end like Kittle, and you got an O-line like we got, and you got Kyle Juszczyk as your fullback, and you have running backs like Mostert who can catch the ball and go places. You want to have a quarterback who can really distribute the ball. So I see why a couple people are saying Mac Jones, but I also see why people don't. I see why a lot of people don't. But what I want people to see is what John Lynch had to put out on his intel tomorrow, right after he had, after that ordeal yesterday with the press conference, he had to come back. He had to double back. You feel me? Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kind of drama going on, Norm. It's like
peep this drama. Peep this drama. Okay, so yesterday I seen someone get caught a genjitsu after genjitsu. So somebody said that the 49ers were making a deal with the Patriots yesterday for forming a couple draft picks, a couple first rounders to get Jimmy G. And, that could make a few fans happy. Then I see a report today. I don't know who this guy is. He says that there is no deal.
Yeah. That's been going on for a month. New England I think they did that to get
check out John
attention.
Lynch. He really had something true, important that came actually from the franchise, from the depths of his hairline, to let y'all say what he really feels about. He pays attention to us, but it's like, but Kyle was just
nasty.
You had to
get
it. That's why he had to double back.
To take social media seriously.
Yeah, you had to get it from John. He had to double back.
Bless
Don't
Kyle.
excuse. Bless Kyle for his frustration, but here it is from a smiling face. I love y'all, man. I appreciate everybody's picks, man. Everybody has some good picks this year, man. This is the best class we had, and we really showing how faithful we are, how excited we are about this. And I need everybody to be pumped. Keep that same energy for the season, too, because we finna go out there and whoop some butt. And the guy we picked, let's go hard for him, straight up. Because he's finna be a beast. Whoever they pick is finna be solid for us. They learned their lesson from the last times from Solomon Thomases and the Reuben Fosters. And, Kinlaw and Ayuk wasn't so bad, so you can see the progression there.
Yeah, right? That's what I was trying to tell people with 2017. You guys got to excuse them for 2017. They didn't know what they was doing just yet. They learned from that lesson, And
that same year, they got Beathard and Kittle. So,
well, yeah, right? Actually, they still did 50-50. Yeah. And Trent Taylor almost worked out, So
the first round, my excitement, y'all, I'm not too pumped up about this first round. So y'all excuse me for the lack of enthusiasm for this first round. I'm more concerned with the thirds and the fourths right in that middle. That's why I'm like,
work.
Ooh,
Norm, remember DJ Jones came out of the 6th round. So Norm, we're gonna run out of time. If you're not gonna commit, I don't blame you. We'll see tomorrow then.
I love y'all though, so y'all can talk whatever y'all want, but regardless of what y'all say, y'all know how I feel anyway. It's Niners all day.
Look at Rhyme, back to back rhyming. Norm. See you tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, sir. See y'all tomorrow.
Oh, no matter what y'all say, it's Niners all day. Hey, Slick.
You might not care what I said, but I'm gonna say it any damn way. Anyway, what's up, Ronbo?
You Slick? Oh, God. Slick, man, you know what time it is other than 49ers all day. It's like this is Judgment Day coming up tomorrow. If they don't get the right pick tomorrow, boy, you can't pick a wrong quarterback, Slick. People will crucify you for years to come. That dude in Chicago can't walk down the street. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 49er people should trust the process. We do this every year. We always stress out.
We never
say,
fail.
What we gonna do? What's gonna happen? And they always have a plan on top of a plan, on top of a plan behind the scenes. We think it's gonna be this, and they pop out with something like out of nowhere. Like I've been analyzing that press conference. That what Kyle said and stuff. He said that 2 teams from our division traded 2 picks to get a safety and a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
So
y'all stop sweating me about them picks.
we pretty much gave 2 first round picks to get our guy. It doesn't have to be a quarterback. So to me, it's either Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts. But if we do go quarterback, I hope it's Justin Fields. And as far as Alabama goes, I think he just went over there to touch bases with Belichick and Najee Harris. That even though he didn't work out or he didn't like in the pro day and stuff, he was there. So I'm sure they probably chopped it up for a little bit. See, he is a Niner fan. He's from the Bay Area. Man, you imagine if we draft Fields and Najee Harris, man.
No, that's
so. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they pop out with something like that. Like I'll be happy with Fields, Chase, Pitts, Najee Harris, and Talanoa Hufanga. As long as we get all them players, either or of them players, I'm good.
Oh, you're right. Doesn't matter. Any one of them at number 3, I'll still be delighted. Man, we ain't got no quarterback. We ain't been Jimmy G again. I don't care. That's enough weaponry that, Slick, you and I could go out there and quarterback that team. Just protect us. I think all offensive linemen. Keep them dudes off me. I'll be fine.
Yeah, because if you give Fields time, man, he'll destroy you. He doesn't have to run. No, he has a rocket of an arm. So he'll destroy you that way. And it's like I've been like analyzing all these quarterbacks, and Jones is good. Don't get me, but I mean he's not the player. And like I don't care if Mike Shanahan likes him or whatever stuff. And I know he's a big influence on Kyle, but you're not gonna do all that for him. You could have got him at 12. And why would you even get him if you could get somebody like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? And Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Zach Wilson are on a different level than Trey Lance. I mean, everybody just wants Lance now because that was the last pro that everybody saw. Everybody got excited, so they're jumping on that train. But I like Trey Lance. Don't get me wrong, I do like him a lot. He has a lot of upside and stuff, but he's not even the same level as Justin Fields. If I was the Niners, I'll get Fields. If I don't get anybody else, I'll get him.
Actually, from what I can see, nobody's actually on Fields' level. Not even Trey Lawrence. More I look at his tape, he's being a little overrated. I think Lance is.
He beat him. Fields beat him.
I think Fields is a little.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Urban Meyer gets Justin Fields as the number 1 pick. No, that would throw everybody like
Urban came to Ohio State for a while. And the thing is,
yeah, because that was his guy.
Slick, watch the Jets. That's the team to keep an eye on. Because I think Urban's going to take Trey. But the Jets are quiet. What are the Jets really up to? You say the Jets have traded down. What?
Yeah, I think if the Jets do draft Fields, we're getting Pitts. We're not getting Wilson or Lance. We'll get Pitts. And then later on, we'll probably get somebody who's decent, or we'll just wait two years later for That Clemson quarterback is supposed to be better than.
True, but you still trade down too far, and Jones is still available most likely. You just got to keep ahead of Belichick.
But I'm excited. I mean, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I am super excited for tomorrow. I don't even know if I'll be able to sleep tonight, even though I'm not the one getting drafted. But
it's crazy.
But I'm just so excited what's going to happen. All right, Ronbo. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Slick, pleasure.
Let's trust the process, brick by brick. Remember, we're building something special over here.
Got you down for Fields. All right, fam.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. Night, Slick. Oh, man. Charles. Charles.
Hey, what's going on, Ronbo?
Hey, Charles. Oh, man, we're sitting up here looking the night before the draft and all, This year, we're asking the question of, can you make that pick at number 3? Boom.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right, Charles.
Oh, yeah. Like I told you last time. Yeah. I told you last week, it's going to be us and Mr. Jones.
That is. Put Charles down for Mac.
We're gonna have a thing going on
with Mrs. Jones.
Mac Jones. That's what it's gonna be like. Oh, everybody gonna be mad because I'm telling you, he's projected as being the most accurate quarterback in the draft, and that's what Kyle Shanahan. That's what he wants. Yeah. So I mean, he's a stickler for accuracy. So,
And, Charles, you heard somebody earlier say, somebody says John Lynch is probably pulling for either Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but Kyle has probably got his eyes dead set on Mac. And if that be the case, Kyle's going to win that this year. They're going to leave that decision up to him.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be Matt Jones. Everybody's talking about Trey Lance, but Trey Lance, he hasn't played in a year. Who gets picked in the first round, early in the first round, that hasn't played in a year? Nobody. I mean, I understand everybody, people have an affection for him.
Yeah. You know what? It depends on what that dude. But you know what that coach or that quarterback he's sitting over to talk to him, it depends on what those reports came back looking like too. Because Kyle may derive something from that he likes. I don't know. Guy's name is Beck.
No, because nothing takes the place of game day experience.
True.
You haven't played the whole year. You all of a sudden you jump to the NFL. And it's like on Madden. It's like on, I don't know if you ever played Madden.
I tried. I never have enough time. People beat me up so bad I quit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Madden, when you play 3 or 4 years, you get an awareness rating of like 75.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You ain't played in a year, you get an awareness rating of 50. I think he got an awareness rating of 50. We don't need 50. And then look what he played at. He played the junior varsity of college. We don't need that.
Charles has got some serious case here too. That's a good point.
We don't need somebody to play in the junior varsity of college. We need somebody who played.
But Carson Wentz came from. Well, yeah, but Carson Wentz came from that conference. The only thing that stopped him from doing a good job was he couldn't. He's running when he shouldn't have been running, and they try to break his legs. Because
man, Carson Wentz last year he wet the bed.
Yeah,
that's why he on a coach. He wet the bed, so he's not a good example. They need to go with Mac Jones. He's probably not the popular pick. They go Mac Jones or Justin Fields, man. Don't try to complicate the situation. Don't bring Trey. He's probably got good pedigree. He's probably got some good morals. He's probably a really good person. But no, man, you traded up for a reason. You traded up for a winner. Don't do that.
Don't overthink it. In other words, huh? Charles, you make some excellent points. So Trey hasn't had a lot of experience. He's at North Dakota. He looks like he could be developed, but you can't go on that because Deshaun Kaiser is another example of that. And Deshaun came out too early. If anything, Trey may have came out too early. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, he did. Why would you even go? Why would you even apply yourself to the NFL draft if you haven't played in a year? You know, I understand, your projection, but you haven't played. And so for me, I wouldn't pick him early in the first round. No, he hasn't played. You don't know what you don't know if he's been having nightmares about football and he, once they hike the ball, he's running for his life. You don't know what's going on with this man.
This makes up sweats.
You don't know you don't know what's going on with him. You don't know if this man is scared. Because NFL level is different than, the college, junior varsity level. You don't want to see that, man.
Well, Charles, you have made it
I don't want to
compelling.
see. Look, Ronbo. Look, I don't want to see this man wet the bed in a 49 uniform next year.
And Charles, and you made a really good point on that. We're gonna go because we're gonna see how many votes we can get in tonight. And Charles, we will commend you tomorrow.
All right.
If you're right. All right. All right, man.
Okay. All right.
All right, Charles.
All right. Love you, Ronbo. Bye.
Hey, love you back, fam. Hey, Jay.
Yeah. Yo. Hello.
Jay, come in, man, because tonight it's like pregame.
Can you hear me?
Man. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Look, yeah, I could. You see, I don't know what's gonna happen with the Jets, honestly, because they're probably not gonna pick Zach Wilson, to be honest with you.
Tell you, they make no sense. Sitting over there like church. I mean, you don't hear a word from. I mean, Jay, not a peep. Ain't nobody. Reporters ain't talking about them. They're not answering any questions. They're not getting asked any questions. My God, I've never. Jacksonville and New York, not a word.
Yeah, they even having said like they're gonna pick Zach Wilson. That's the media, saying that they're gonna pick them. Yeah,
not even talking about that.
So I don't know. I think at number 2, it's between Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. But yeah, one of those two.
They got to be arguing back and forth about it. If I was sitting in the Jets front office, we're taking Zach Wilson, Ronbo. What? Why? First thing I question, guys, we got the number 2 pick. They're going to take Lawrence. We take Fields. Well,
Fields is way better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Because he was always the number 2, guy.
And Jay, I've heard from more than one person, Zach can be shaken, not stirred. Shaken.
Yeah.
And once he gets shaken,
that guy's going to get hurt
for the rest of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he already has, a broken shoulder or whatever, injured. He got injured. So, I don't know. I think, who do you think is going to be a bust out of, all these guys?
Zach? Because if the Jets do take him, he's in trouble. They haven't got the program's not fit for him, or any rookie for that matter. And also look for Trey Lance doesn't have the right attitude. Jay?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson are going to be probably busts.
Yeah.
And probably Mac Jones if he doesn't go to the Niners. And honestly,
go ahead.
Trey Lance and Justin Fields, one of those guys is definitely going to succeed. So, I'd rather pick one of those guys because, I don't know, man. The Seahawks and the Rams and the Cardinals, they're going to be happy that we're going to take Mac Jones because he's no threat, and, Justin Fields and Trey Lance are a threat because, they're mobile quarterbacks. And, that's how I feel because, mobile quarterbacks can make off-schedule plays. And, what is Mac Jones going to do? Just stand right there, looking like a whatever.
Well, Mac Jones, his thing is processes quickly, releases. He's not going to stay in there long with the ball. This is what Kyle's depending on. That's what Kyle wants in his offense for the most part. He wants you to process quickly, get rid of the ball. If you're going off schedule, it better be for a good reason. Kyle designs his plays. And remember, Kyle Shanahan thinks his plays are the bee's knees, the shiznit. Do it right, and you'll be all right. But otherwise, yeah, this is the thing with Kyle. That's the appeal to him, Mac Jones.
If Kyle Shanahan's pick, Mac Jones, John Lynch better, step up and say, Kyle, you're smoking some good shit because, because, look, this guy, John Lynch was right about Patrick Mahomes. He knew that he was a good talent. So why is he not picking the quarterback? Like, what? What do you mean?
John is talking all that now. Why he didn't say something about that before? I've never heard about this until this last year. He says, I still kick myself fat. Well, John, why didn't you say something in 2017? Mahomes been in the league how long? Since 2017, right? So.
I mean, he told Kyle about it, and, Kyle didn't, he said whatever. Mm. He didn't, he wrote it off. I don't know what.
Kyle has his certain style of quarterback. And we needed defense that year, too. Remember, we couldn't stop the run to save our life in 2016. So that's what that was about anyway. So.
Yeah. But,
So who's going to be your pick in the meantime?
Shit.
Right, come on, you can do it, Jay. Commit, man. Commit.
Honestly, it's going to be probably Mac Jones because, this guy, if it's Mac Jones, I'm going to be so depressed, honestly.
Okay. See, Jay is not picking Mac Jones because he wants Mac Jones. He's picking Jones because he knows Kyle's going to do this. So there you go.
Right. Well, if I was a freaking GM, I would step up and pick Trey Lance. Honestly,
you'd have to put Kyle in a headlock or something. But tell you, all right, Jay, we're gonna go. Let's see what everybody else has to say on this matter. I'm gonna see you tomorrow night, okay?
Yeah. Bye. Hey, wait. Tomorrow's the draft, right?
Right. It'll be right after the draft. We get together.
Oh
God.
Bye.
Night, Jay. I don't know about tomorrow night. If we do get Jones speech picked, a lot of people could be so upset. They're gonna be in a bad mood. My God, are we gonna be able to talk tomorrow night? Fam, we could be grown up about this. We're okay. I mean, they might not pick Jones. Charles Page.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing?
Charles, I'm doing all right, man. It's funny to watch people sit here and act like they wanted what's the best console out there? They wanted to get like the best console on the planet, and mom's buys them a pair of new jeans and some sneakers, right? So you're looking at Mac Jones is scaring people into these anxieties that are funny. Did you see Jay just
Ronbo?
Now? That's hilarious.
Oh, he was a little depressed there. He's a little depressed there. So, Ronbo, it's just that time of the year where I don't know if the 49ers just love to do it to the fans because we're always on edge. We're always wondering, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Every draft.
They're always just doing something to get our heart rate up,
It works, too.
And now, Ronbo, I have a feeling the 49ers aren't even sure who they really want. I feel that's how I truly feel.
You're right, too.
I feel like when they made the trade, they really wanted Mac Jones. Like, they knew they were going to take Mac Jones. And then they did their homework, and they were like, hold on.
And they confused
Trey Lance
themselves,
guy's pretty
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Trey Lance guy is pretty damn good. This Justin Fields guy is really damn good. And now they're in this bind where they're like, all right, who do we really like? They don't even know what they want to do. And personally, it's tough. I'm gonna go with my heart.
He's not PlayStation 3. Good. What does your heart say?
My heart says Trey Lance. Trey Lance, this dude is just a beast. Big as hell, can run like the wind, can throw damn near Patrick Mahomes level. Like, this dude's got it all, but he's just a little raw. He just needs that time to mentally get in NFL shape mentally, which is what I feel like we're keeping, which is perfect.
No, that's a good
for us
point,
because
though.
we're gonna keep.
He can't. The
Go ahead.
NFL can't look too big to him when he comes in because we're talking about a guy who does he only have 1 year of college experience?
He's got about 17 starts.
Yeah. So
roughly a year.
Yeah. So that's not a lot. So Kyle would have to have some real insights, but he looks so mature out there. I'm watching his film. He doesn't look like a guy that's only played for 1 year. I really would have liked to have seen him play this 2020. That really would have been nice, but, the program wouldn't do it, so.
And, Ronbo, I just got to give one shout-out to Denise. I heard her the other day, and I just got to give her due. She absolutely was right on the money for what she said, because she was talking about how Mac Jones and Trey Lance have the same amount of starts, but they're talking about how Trey Lance is really inexperienced. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But Mac, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things where it's frustrating. I don't even know what they're gonna do. Personally,
we need to get used to this. Every year they're gonna do this. Next year it's gonna be the same thing. Next year we're gonna be looking at 2 or 3 guys, and it's never one. We're gonna be with 2 or 3 or 4 guys, and the 49ers gonna be sending out, or the media's gonna be sending out, manufacturing all kind of things that cause your buttons to get pushed all the time. That's just the way they do.
Exactly, Ronbo. I feel like they just have fun doing it to us, but at the same time, I personally don't have fun. But they just have fun looking at us like, all right, you guys are all on edge. We already know what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. But, Ronbo, that's all I got for you tonight. Just a hard pick, Trey Lance. Sign me up. But whoever you pick, I'm still going to root for that guy. And that's all I got for tonight.
Yeah. And Charles, rest easy tonight. Everything's going to be okay. Just trust the process. As we're going to find out, when you wake up tomorrow, you have breakfast, have lunch, maybe get a little workout in, get some work done. And then come back home, sit down, and try to relax. As you listen up, Goodell walks out and says, with the 3rd pick in the NFL draft, you pass out. you can't take it. You just go ahead and pass out. Or else some guys are going to get drunk, because some people like to hide behind paraphernalia that's going to put their mind in another place and try to endure the draft. So if you don't like Mac Jones and they call his name, you're so drunk or high that you don't care. Hey, we got Mac Jones. You believe that? We ain't gonna win another game for another 2 years, man. Forget this, man. We ain't got. Hey, Kyle, kiss my the kids. So Charles.
The person that person I live with that person. That's my father.
Yeah.
Who I know who will be like that tomorrow.
He's a 49er fan?
Oh, way bigger. He's been a 49er fan since Joe Montana threw that pass to Dwight Clark.
Tell you what, we'll see tomorrow. Hopefully your dad is not upset, and neither are you. See you tomorrow night.
All right, Ronbo. I appreciate the time as always, and have a good night.
Pleasure, Charles. Night. This is all. You have to laugh about this because it's really uncomfortable. Like, hey, Steven.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Steven. You know what we're doing here tonight, right? We're trying to make the call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Steven,
oh yeah. And
run it down, Steve. Run it down.
I got it. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir the pot with this real quick. So everyone, we all can assume that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going with T-Law, right? But one thing a lot of people miss, and your second caller said it, I didn't get a chance to actually, I was waiting to say it myself, but Urban Meyer was at the pro day of Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, and T-Laws.
I wonder why.
I think they're going to go Justin Fields. I have a strong feeling that the Jaguars are going to get Justin Fields. Jets, probably, we're all looking at the Jets like, what are you going to do? Because that makes our move a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But if the Jets stick to Zach Wilson, I have a pretty damn good feeling they might go after T-Law. But that's a Hail Mary. Hey, that's a real Hail Mary.
Steven, do you like that? T-Law's attitude is concerning. He says, football is not all I'm about. When you start talking like Dante Pettis, It's a concern to me. I want you to be a quarterback that eats, sleeps, and drinks football. Even if it's not the case, don't go around here broadcasting out, yeah, I'm a football player, but my life isn't defined by just me Xing and Oing and throwing the pigskin around. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. And he's doing that.
I'll be real with you. I'd probably say the same thing, too, if I knew I was probably going to get drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars. If I knew my life was going to be miserable and I had to wake up and go to practice to see Gardner Minshew every single day in that damn mullet, I'd be miserable myself. I'd be like, you know what? Football's not my life. So I see where he's
setting everybody
from
up for. And listen, if this goes south, I'm telling you guys, man, don't come at me. I told you from the start, I'm just doing this to be doing this, and if it doesn't work, fine. But don't give me grief. He's setting the table. It's a preemptive strike for fail. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you remember, but they were saying that Kyle Shanahan said he's looking for a quarterback that throws like Drew Brees and runs like Lamar Jackson. There's only one guy that can do that, and that's Trey Lance.
Yeah.
But after seeing his pro day, there was a lot of smoke in the air, like, oh, he's really interested in Trey Lance. With everything going on right now, it all looks like it's pointing towards Mac Jones. And I'll tell you why. Because Mac Jones has more years playing NCAA. Mac Jones has experience playing with really talented players. Mac Jones knows who to throw to. Trey Lance, on the other hand, he comes from a different side of the country. His whole division is completely different from Mac Jones. He played with South Dakota, but he's young, he's moldable. That's also a real risk. He's only played 1 year in college. It's not so much, Mac Jones started 17 games, and so did Trey Lance. How does that not equal out? It's because, and I'll break it down like this: Trey Lance is too raw. He's way too raw. We need a QB who can come in, who we can trust that will come in with the offense and actually know what to do. Mac Jones has that. Mac Jones has that high competitive level. So let's say, Jaguars go with T-Law, Justin Fields goes to the Jets, we pick up Mac Jones because we're not picking up Wilson, and we're probably not going to go for Lance just because of, how young he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go down as something as, we're going to stick with Mac Jones and we're going to keep Mac Jones because we know we can trust him to throw to Kittle. We know we can trust him to throw to Ayuk. We can trust him to throw to Mostert. We can trust him to throw to Debo. Anyone on that field, that man is going to be happy because he has all the talent just like how he did at Alabama. The one thing I could say he needs to work on is running out and throwing the ball out. Letting go of the ball when he needs to so that way we don't lose yards.
And you got to do that because Kyle likes to go play action. You know it's going to be funny because I have heard that somebody, I don't know if it was a mistake or maybe I was dreaming or asleep or something and hearing things, but Mac Jones actually has stats equivalent to Joe Burrow. Have you heard that? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about it. And here's the thing. For instance, if we ended up, let's say out of some fluke, we did some crazy trade and we got Joe Burrow. Right? Mm-hmm. The whole point, the reason why everyone considers Joe Burrow a bust is because he's with the Bengals. He has no talent. You put a QB with no talent on the team, obviously he's going to do bad. If you put a bad QB with a good team, obviously, he's going to shine like a star here and there because the talent is there.
Steven, we're going to run out of time. Are you going with the Mac?
Yeah, I'm going on Mac Jones. I'm going all in on Mac Jones.
All right. So I want to tell you what, we're going to go. Everybody wants to have their say on this. And I'm going to see you tomorrow night, and the praises will be yours. Jones is picking up votes here tonight like crazy. Some of them are forced because they think they want to guess the right guess. You actually believe in Jones to some degree. I can feel it. So there you go. All right, Steven, see you tomorrow.
All right, Ronbo. Take care.
Night. You too. And 49ers Ultimate Report, John, thanks. Johnny says, I think John Lynch and staff really wants Jimmy G to stay one more year and draft Trey Lance. But Kyle wanted to trade Mac Jones start. Is it a Kaipo trade Mac Jones start in 2021? Yeah. You know what, though? I think Kyle does still want to polish him up a bit. There's a lot of things to learn. You can't really learn it in preseason. So, I think no matter what, they wanted to get a veteran and then get rid of Jimmy if they're going to get rid of him, from what I read. But they couldn't do that. But that was a lot of veterans. I don't know. It's strange. Hey, Sherry.
What's up, Ronbo?
I'll say, what's up, man. This is like fun stuff. I feel like we're back in week 3, getting ready to talk about this game coming up. This game is coming up. Jay, we're going to win this game. What you got for a score? So here we are, draft 2021. Shay, look at these options, and I know who you love. But Shay, what are these people going to do?
Well, you know what, Ronbo? I just find it really funny that like Adam Schefter's coming out, Rappaport, all these dudes are backpedaling. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying nobody knows. It's like, well, of course nobody knew because Niners don't leak. No one knows, man. So I just find it really funny that today the report came out that over the weekend they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right. Ultimately now that they're finalized on a decision, and now that Mac Jones was in a landslide, and now all of a sudden Lance closes the gap. It's like, dude. We already knew this. If anybody is evaluating any talent, you could tell all these quarterbacks. Right, all these quarterbacks are fairly good, but like Mac Jones isn't gonna. If you like him in some aspects, but then the other quarterbacks beat him in other aspects. It's not like it's consensus Trevor Lawrence. Like all these guys are gonna get attention from whoever they like. But I know for a fact that Trey Lance and Justin Fields are definitely on the radar. And a lot of people, I put more stock into the name that's not being mentioned, which is Justin Fields. I feel that LaFleur and Saleh will still try to pick Kyle's brain, and if they feel like, oh wow, Kyle really likes Justin Fields, oh then why should we take Zach Wilson when we might as well have Justin Fields? If Kyle Shanahan is so respected and regarded by his peers and around the league, it's like of course they'll still consult with Kyle, or they'll take his best opinion, like, hey man, this kid's talented. So again, and even if it isn't Justin Fields or it's Mac Jones, he's not going to show his hand. He'll never show his hand because that's just the type of guy Kyle is, right? So I just feel like go ahead.
I'm just saying, Shay, that if they play that game with Kyle, as far as mind games and try to get into that with Kyle, they will be destroyed. I hope the Jets aren't doing that, but they might be.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody knows, right? Everybody has to play the game. That's why these guys make the big decisions. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, it's at the end of the day, the fans want players. They see players. They like picks, but you still have to compete with all 31 other teams, right? So, I mean, you don't know who's going where, what's going where, what capitals we move. You know what I mean? You don't know who's talking to who. So you still got to play the game. And at the end of the day, I feel like I put a lot of stock into Justin Fields. He's the only guy that seems after the pro day, like for some reason he just fell off the face of the earth. I don't get it. We see that the Broncos now have settled for Teddy Bridgewater today. So again, it's the more that all these traits are happening. Well, my thing is like at the end of the day, who would have still been there? I think Mac Jones would have still been there at 9 or 8. Why
did they kick that spot then? Shay, they may know something.
Well, go ahead.
No, I just think.
Well, my thing is this, though. That's what I'm saying. They may know that the Niners, there's no way Justin Fields is going to fall to them. I know the guy, Anthony, the Falcons guy, who, I think they're taking a quarterback. I think that the guys, because, Ronbo, look at it. 8 and 9 have already made the decision. Carolina has already settled in on Sam Darnold. They traded for him. Now, the Broncos have just traded for Teddy Bridgewater. So now they got Teddy Bridgewater in Denver, and they also have, I forgot that guy's name, the quarterback, Drew Lock. They still got Drew Lock over there, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're under the impression, or what they know that they feel is going on, is the first 4 to 5 picks will be, if the Bengals decide to somehow trade out, I don't think they will. I think the first 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks, Ronbo. And I think that the guys that they were waiting, I think the Falcons are taking a quarterback too. I think the Falcons will take whoever is left over after the 49ers pick. I honestly believe that it'll be whoever, whether it's Mac Jones, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields. The Falcons will take whoever they want out of Lance and Fields, and then Mac Jones will slide probably to the 49ers. I know there's reports that they're trying to work out a deal with Garoppolo. Then if Mac Jones slides out, then you can possibly see Mac Jones slide to around the 15, 20s, to where obviously like someone like the Saints will move up for him, or maybe the Washington football team, might move up for him or something like that. So that's what I think, that the reason why with these trades that we see, I think that's what it's indicating. is that the 8 and 9 teams can't move up, right? And they were a lot closer to the 49ers, but because the 49ers already got third, I feel like, the Falcons might be like, nah, we're probably going to take a quarterback. So now they're like, well, I mean, let's go get, whoever's left out there. Let's go get Teddy Bridgewater. That's what the Broncos did. And then obviously, Carolina's trading for Sam Darnold. So those guys aren't going to take a quarterback. So they're like, well, so someone's going to be left at the altar, like Kyle said, and that's why I think ultimately Kyle moved up because he wasn't going to be one of those teams.
They don't want to go through that stress. All right, Shay, time is up, man. We need a commitment from you. What's happening tomorrow? You gonna stick with Fields?
Honestly, I'm sticking with Fields. I just think it's Fields. I mean, it says a lot. There's no volume, and that screams louder than anything. And if it's Trey Lance, I'll be just as happy. So, all right, Ronbo, shout out to my TT guys. Shout out to production. You have a good night, brother.
You too, fam. Appreciate it. Good stuff. All right. And Rebel D says Trey Lance is the guy. Oh, okay. Trey Lance is the guy. Rebel, go Niners. Oh, good gracious life. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Would you please hurry up and get in your show? I can't wait to hear your input. Oh. Show's working. He's working out or something.
To the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama.
God, don't flag on him.
MJ to the Bay.
Oh God. Well, so you've been telling people all along that it's going to be Mac Jones.
I mean, the writing's on the wall, Ronbo. All the signs are pointing towards that. I mean, you can't ignore Peter King. You can't ignore Peter King. You can't ignore Peter Schrager. You can't ignore Chris Sims. They all have connections to the 49ers, whether people want to take them seriously or not. They've been covering the league longer than we've been alive, Ronbo. And they know their stuff. And they've been pretty accurate.
Stupid show.
Get off my call, please.
Would you get JJ out of here? JJ's terrible. God, JJ, you're such a comic. Was that him sleeping? I thought he was. Go ahead, Show.
Anyways, they've been pretty accurate. And as far as people bringing up the Brandon Ayuk thing, nobody knew we were going to trade back up in the later rounds and get Brandon Ayuk. That was out of nowhere.
Call. I mean, because people keep taking credit for that. Good call. They were lucky to get back in.
Yeah, exactly. And so Chris Sims knows Kyle Shanahan, and he's going off of the history of his quarterbacks that he's had in the past. And that's why I keep telling people that Kyle Shanahan's not going to change. He even said it in the presser himself that he's not going to go with he's not going to base his decisions based off trends where the league is going. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, people still don't believe this, that Super Bowls, playoff games, and games are won in the pocket. Bottom line, mobile quarterbacks get sacked the most in the NFL. And when they get that ball in their hands and they start running Ronbo, they turn to running backs. And you know what happens to running backs? They go after their legs, and their careers get cut short if they get injured severely badly when they get hit by 250-pound, 350-pound linemen.
High speed.
You know what I mean? So.
So, and also, the thing is, Mac Jones processes, gets rid of the ball quick, and he's accurate. Those are things that Kyle really does love. And so, if people who don't like Mac Jones, Kyle likes that a lot. So, yeah.
And Mac Jones is obviously my pick. Everybody's already known that. And when it comes to 49ers media, though, Ronbo, people need to really pay attention to Peter King. I mean, he's been fairly accurate since 2018, since we drafted Michael Levinchy. And he called that pick, Peter Schrager called that pick, and Chris Sims also called that pick. He also sat in the war room with the 49ers. And on the board, in his article that he posted on Monday with his final mock draft, on the board he said Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch had 3 people at the top of their board: Myles Garrett, Reuben Foster, and Solomon Thomas. And who did we end up taking? We both end up taking Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster. So he has an idea of the information he puts out there is legit. So he has an idea of what is going on the 49ers side, whether you want to believe the media or not. But the media has been accurate pretty much a week up until the draft, so.
I didn't see Javon Kinlaw coming. Well, actually a little bit. You figured you were going to get a wide receiver.
Well, yeah, you kind of had. Yeah, but everyone thought that Eric Armstead was going to get traded, including myself. But nobody thought DeForest Buckner was going to get traded. And Peter King also that year came out and said that the 49ers were desperate to fill
that void,
that defensive tackle void. With guys like Javon Kinlaw that he mentioned, and he had them mocked in our mock draft that year. Yes. So it's on the wall, man. I know. It's been this, but this has been the most. You have to pay attention to the reporting, not the opinions of people. The reporting has been consistent for months and months. So
from day one, right after the championship. And Solomon Thomas was too.
Yep.
Remember that? Solomon Thomas kept climbing up the board. I kept going, God, give me a break. What are we going to? We don't need Solomon Thomas. He's undersized. Eric Armstead can do what Solomon Thomas does. Why would we pull Solomon Thomas? Boom! Solomon Thomas. What? Oh! What? I couldn't get over it. Wow, it brings back memories.
Yep.
So
just
maybe.
That's pretty much all I have to say, man. I mean, the writing's been on the wall for the past month and a half, and I love people who still are trying to convince themselves that he is not the pick, but you just got to pay attention to the credible people out there that actually know what they're talking about.
We're going to change shows into the Grim Reaper. So we're going to go. We're out of time. And yes, you've delivered the message again. Hood and side.
And Kyle said, one more quick point, Ronbo. Kyle also said he doesn't base his decision-making off of fans' feelings. So
and trends.
There you go.
Right.
Yep, exactly. All right, take care.
You too,
shout out to the
TNT
fam.
All right. See you tomorrow. And we maybe ended up giving Show his props. Can you imagine? Show got me years ago when he said we were going to get Fred Warner. I didn't know what a Fred Warner was. I do now, and Show's want to introduce him to me. I said, get up. It's is that FT12W? I mean, 12W, thanks. Family says, I think Niners know something that Trevor will fall to pick 3 in Atlanta and will give up a lot to move to 3 to get him. Then they pick Lance at 4. Yeah. Thanks for the contribution. It makes you think, though. Steven Hernandez. Steve, thanks for the contributions. And Mac Jones is a perfect quarterback for the 49ers offense. Trey is great, but he's too inexperienced as a quarterback. Mac Jones is a great playmaker. He's more accurate, and he knows where to go when he runs out of options. See, no matter what we think about, these are not untruths. That's true about Mac Jones, but it's the fact that you want that quarterback to move around that's actually making people look at Jones as if he were just complete trash. We may be a little wrong about him being complete trash, no matter what else. Taryn!
Hey, what up, Ronbo?
Taryn, man, I'm sitting here feeling all kind of emotions being flown out here tonight. And Taryn, are you thinking anything different than what you may have been thinking weeks ago? Taryn, what do you think here with this quarterback situation? What is in the cards for tomorrow night?
Well, before I pick who I pick, I'm kind of just listening to all the phone calls.
Good.
And I'm laughing at people doubting Lance, huh?
I know.
So what?
No, yeah,
I'm just people sitting here doubting Lance. And it's funny. It's the same thing. Oh, he don't have enough starts. He played in the D2. He played against, no competition. But that conversation should be irrelevant because the simple fact, you have somebody, okay, let me give you a perfect example. Josh Rosen. He's in a Power 5 conference. He was a 3-year starter at UCLA. Yep. He's on his 4th team in 4 years.
And maybe on his
then
5th
you have
soon.
somebody like that. And then you want to bring somebody else, somebody who was in our system, C.J. Beathard. This was somebody handpicked by Kyle. He moved up for him. He was in our offense 4 years in a Power 5 conference from Iowa. He never developed. So you either have it or you don't. It doesn't matter what school you went to. It doesn't matter who you played against. You don't judge the helmet. You judge the player.
Good point.
And who I like, and I haven't swayed from my pick when I did my mock draft with you a month ago. I'm still going Trey Lance. And let me tell you why I'm going with Trey Lance. There's one comment that was made by John Lynch and Shanahan during that press conference. They said we were looking at 12 at getting the quarterback. Once the process started going through, the draft process, the pro day started going through, the quarterback we wanted that we thought might fall to 12, we didn't feel like he was going to be there anymore, so we had to move up to get him. That doesn't sound like Mac Jones to me, because the simple fact, nobody in the top 10 before San Francisco traded down was looking at Mac Jones. He was in nobody's mocks. Nobody was talking about him. The consensus was always Lawrence, Wilson, or Fields, or, somewhere in that order. So I feel like the 49ers felt like, okay, Trey Lance is kind of like the odd man out. He's, nobody's really talking about him. And as the process started going through, and if you remember, about a week after his pro day, 49ers made that trade to 3. Because they were like, man, I don't know, there's a lot of buzz going on with him. Maybe we need to move up to get this guy.
And certainly don't want to be subjected to possibly not getting what they want. So, yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of people said that about that move. It took place at that particular time. How is that?
Yeah, it took place about a week after his pro day. And like I said, Justin Fields, I don't feel like he's fallen to 12. He's not gonna, he's always been talked about as the second, third, or even first best quarterback, depending on who you talk to.
True.
So I don't think 49ers felt they could get Fields at 12. I don't think they felt like they can get Lance or Wilson. It was Trey Lance, because at 12 they figured, okay, he'll fall, because everybody always had Mac Jones going to, like, if you look at like mocks from like January, he was always predicted to go in the second round or late first. Then all of a sudden, as soon as 49ers trade up in the top 5, it's, Mac Jones, because he's a perfect Kyle Shanahan quarterback. But people tend to forget we did look at trying to get Deshaun Watson. He was in discussions. So to say that Kyle has his mind made up and he's old school and he doesn't want to change from his ways, I don't agree with that, because he was actually there was Deshaun Watson talk. So yeah, I really think it's Trey Lance. I feel like the writing's on the wall, and so to say he's not ready, he's wrong. We don't know that. You can't go off of the games he's played, because the guy is poised, and people don't know. Like, his dad played corner. And I don't know if you watched that Kirk Herbstreit special with all the quarterbacks, the top 5 quarterbacks that were projected, but his dad played.
I saw that.
His dad played
I didn't
corner.
get a chance to finish the show though, but yeah.
So his dad played corner in college, and then played a couple years in the CFL. And his dad on that show was like, yeah, me and Trey, we studied film together. Me as a corner, I showed him reads and angles and all this other stuff. So him and his dad would study NFL film together when he was 15 years old. So the man is ready. He's polished. I don't care about his starts. Yeah, he might not be able to start week 1, week 2, whatever the case may be, but I don't see him sitting for a full year. He's smart. He's a film junkie, and I really feel like he'll be the pick, and he'll be ready whenever his number's called.
There you go.
So
Another solid case. Yeah. All right.
All right, man. I got a lot of callers, so I'll holler at you. Man, are you doing a live show tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be on all evening tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
So, all right, Darren.
All right, man.
Be looking for you.
Cool, bro.
All
I'll tune in tomorrow. Thanks.
All right. Darren. There it is. A lot of solid arguments being made for these quarterbacks, but I'm telling you right now, T-Law is like, we'll see. It's Jack B. Nimble. Jack B. Quick. Jack, come on over here.
24 hours left, ladies and gentlemen. How we feeling?
Anxiety ridden. The sweat is pouring. Jack, you're the guy for this, because I can't wait to hear what you want at number 3 and how come. Jack, what's gonna happen?
I'll tell you something straight up. The only person that's pissed off and unbumpable right now is Jimmy G. You don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to the Patriots? Is he staying? Is he going to have a backup that's going to surpass him? We don't know. But Jimmy G, it's basically like this, man. When we was at 12, I wanted Waddle, and I still think Waddle's the best wide receiver this year.
You couldn't get Waddle at 12.
We move up to 3.
We moved up to 3, and I told y'all, man. Yeah, and me and Ronbo on the same page. We want Kyle Pitts, but now it's leaning more towards quarterback. So, it looks like it might be one of the 3 quarterbacks, unless, like one of the last few callers said, Trevor Lawrence magically falls into our lap. Then, you know what I'm saying? Hallelujah or something like that. But it's like, with, Mac Jones, is he going to be that next Tom Brady, or is he going to be a Ryan Leaf? Is Trey Lance?
No, not the Leaf curse.
Is Trey Lance going to be Patrick Mahomes or Jamarcus Russell
or Deshaun Kaiser?
And then with Fields, is he going to be the next Deshaun Watson or the next Dwayne Haskins? So
I forgot, same school.
Yeah, same school. But with me, now we're talking quarterbacks. Yeah, we're talking quarterbacks now. So I'm saying don't pass. Like I told you, don't pass on Waddle, and then don't pass on Pitts. But if we're going quarterbacks, do not pass on Justin Fields. I'm telling you, don't pass on him. But if we do get a Lance or a Jones, I'm gonna rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see why they drafted him or whatever. But Justin Fields, man, all the goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? If he falls into our lap, I'm saying snatch his ass up. And you talk about like the near misses in the first round in recent history. Immediately picked after the near misses. You go back to 2007, Jamarcus Russell. Guess who was picked next? In 2000, Calvin Johnson. That's right. 2003, Jerome Douglas. Who was picked after him? My boy Troy Polamalu, who I did tell you Jamal Adams was the next one, but And then y'all got Adam Carricker, who was picked after him in 2007, Darrelle Revis. And the list goes on, and you can talk about David Carr and Julius Pepper in 2000, and you can talk
Go to
about
2017 when you picked out the right defensive player, and we picked out Solomon Thomas. Jamal Adams comes walking down there, and you can see on Jamal Adams' face when the Jets picked him, he wasn't happy. I said, you know what? This is like, what did y'all do? Kyle? My God. Solomon Thomas.
So basically, guys, don't pick the wrong person, pull the wrong trigger like I keep telling you guys, and then get somebody picking Kyle Pitts or that quarterback who turns into that Calvin Johnson, okay? But I know we got to keep it moving. Hey, man, I'm loving everybody's input tonight, and keep that excitement going. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow night we're going to check in, and it's going to be fun. All right? Love y'all. And locking her down, your boy Jack, the draft motherfucking king. All right? Love y'all.
All right. And Jack's never been modest about his picks. Jack, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Oh, God. All right, Bethel.
Hey, Ronbo.
Well, Bethel, as you know, tonight, as we do before ball games, we go ahead and make the call. And this year is like, last year, you couldn't really do this because, we just didn't know what to choose from. You had Henry Ruggs, you had C.D. Lamb, and you had the guy from the other kid from Bama, Judy. And so, there was a couple other people, but those are the guys. We need a wide receiver. This is it, Kyle. Get us that wide receiver. Let's go, Kyle. There's a Henry. I was Henry Ruggs all over the place. Give me that speed, dude. Kyle, I know that's what you want. 49ers select Javon Kinlaw. What? You can never get ready, Bethel. He's gonna do it again too.
Hey, but think of how smart is Kyle. Look at what a lot of teams couldn't do. You couldn't do any practices. You couldn't do any. You couldn't work them out. Yeah. But he made them do some plays. He made them do some of his plays, and he had them practice all that. No other teams did that. He's the only one that did it.
Well.
So, and then plus, he's playing mind games with everybody because think about it. If supposedly who is running our system besides us? The Jets.
Oh yeah. It was
So
about
why
2 or
is the
3 teams,
media?
yeah.
Why is the media not saying that Mac Jones is going to go to the Jets?
Right.
If he's a starter from day one, and he has all the accuracy and everything, why the Jets are not taking him?
And nobody's saying a word about the Jets or Zach Wilson. Nothing being said about either one of these names, Wilson or New York. Nothing. Isn't that scary?
Yes. So, so think about it. If Kyle makes it look like, hey, we're going to get this guy, maybe the Jets are going to want to get that guy because, Kyle looks at that guy for some reason, so let's get him.
The mind games will have worked. The Kyle slipped them into a Mac Jones pickup. They pick up Mac Jones. But, hey, Bethel, and then you pick up if Kyle picks up Zach Wilson after that, I'm saying, oh, Kyle, you could have why couldn't you get Fields? I mean, I'm not going to be happy if that happens. Zach Wilson is not going to survive the NFL. I don't think he's going to. I think he's a potential bust.
Yeah, but the only one that knows is Kyle because, the guy that he had them, teach him everything. And plus, if you think about it, Kyle, did these plays. Now Kyle knows, okay, this guy could learn my system pretty quick. This guy is not going to learn it pretty quick. So now he knows who to get.
Yeah, he's looking
because
at that.
he knows that
Who's the sharpest?
that he could take, who's the sharpest out of both of them. Because now supposedly there's 5 quarterbacks we're looking at, not just 3, 5. But
in that case, maybe it's none of these guys we're talking about. He goes down and gets Mond or what's his name? Trask. I would just the 49ers are trading down from the number 3 spot to number 7. And then they picked up. Now we pick up Pitts because I got to tell you right now, Bethel, 1, 2, 3, you're going to get a quarterback. 4 is questionable. Nobody knows what the Atlanta Falcons are doing.
I have a question for you, Ronbo. Do you think they're going to use all those 9 picks to draft somebody, or they might use them to go up on the board to
back in
get
round
somebody
1?
else?
Oh yeah, they're going to try. That's what John and Kyle do. They're the most aggressive guys. They should get more credit for it too. The 49ers will be back in the first round. You watch. Even if they have to give up number 2.
And then plus Mike Jones, he looks like another what's that guy that the Browns picked up that was a bust that doesn't play? That used to party and everything.
And that's not. Oh, you're talking about Johnny. Mo Money. This is Johnny Football. What's his real name? You're talking about Johnny Football, right? The guy that's always got the finger up, doing money signs. Manziel.
Manziel, yeah, there you go. See, look at him. Look at he has the same videos, partying and all that, and Mac Jones does too. So he has some issues there. So that's why they have him falling down so in the bottom because of that.
You know what? No, Manziel's different than. I've never seen a bigger idiot than Johnny Manziel. Nobody's bad as Manziel. Bethel, we got to get your choice. Who's going to be the quarterback pick tomorrow night?
I like Fields, but it depends on either him or Trey Lance.
Trey Lance?
Because he has he's pretty smart and if he could learn this system pretty good, he's gonna be a dual quarterback.
Yeah.
And plus, didn't somebody that supposedly wanted Watson? Doesn't he have that almost like the same traits, the same height?
David, there's you can draw some similarities. But listen, I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna put you down for Lance or Fields, and because we gotta go, and we're gonna see tomorrow night. If you're right, Bethel, we're going to be calling your name out. Hey, Bethel at it. All right. All right, Bethel.
All right. Good show, like always, Ronbo.
Thanks,
And hit a like for Ronbo Sports.
Thanks,
Let's go,
man.
Nine.
Yeah.
Hey.
Night, Bethel. And get your groove on. All right, fam. Get your groove on. 97 B says they say Mac Jones only wins games because of the all-star talent around him. So what do people think of our offensive players? A bunch of nobodies? You see, this argument, I've actually said the same thing. I said, he's not coming to a trash bunch of guys in San Francisco either. And if there's anything Kyle can do well, he can design some plays. If you can execute them, they'll work. Uh-oh, here he comes. Forget about it at Niner Mike, the real Niner Mike.
Forget about it. Here we go, Ronbo. What are we, less than 24 hours away? Are you ready over there or what, Ronbo?
I'm ready to rumble.
Oh, you know what I'm doing? Hey, that's right. Listen, it's going to be a great day, Ronbo, a great day. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Niner faithful out there. And, hey, Ronbo, thanks for plugging me earlier with the social media.
Yeah.
All of you know it's the real deal. You can get in touch. You can hit me directly. I don't shy away from nobody. It's the real Niner Mike on Twitter over there. You can get at me anytime you want. All right.
I confirm that because at first I thought it was somebody faking.
Now, we're gonna get right into the meat and potatoes of it all, Ronbo.
And make sure you put some sauce on it.
The meat and potatoes.
I do.
All right, here we go. Now look, my original, as you know, I've been a Justin Fields guy. All right, I've been a Justin Fields guy from the beginning. That's who I want them to take. But in light of the news, all right, if we got the two options, Ronbo, and it's got to be between Trey Lance or Whack Mac, I'm going to go with Trey Lance, Ronbo. I'm going to go with Trey Lance, and here's why. All right, here's why. And this is something that I hope a lot of the faithful out there could understand. Maybe you ain't thought about this a little bit, but let's just put it out there, all right? I'm tired of people talking about, just because a quarterback is mobile, that he's a mobile quarterback. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Not everybody that's a mobile quarterback plays like a Lamar Jackson, all right, where Lamar Jackson's running accounts for about maybe 25% or more of his success on any given Sunday, right, Ronbo? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that the Ravens are going to need him to run a lot in order for them to be successful. Now, that being said, I believe that there's also another kind of mobile quarterback, and that is kind of evolved a little bit, Ronbo, because, there's more and more athletes now, all right? More and more higher grade athletes than there even were back in the day, all right? And so what you got is instead of the Steve Youngs and the Joe Montanas, all right, the original guys that scrambled around, all right, because that's the thing. Everyone wants to talk about a pocket passer. Let's get this straight. Mac Jones is the ultimate pocket passer, all right? There's a lot of questions. If you watch his film, yeah, he has great film, but 99% of his great film is from the pocket, all right? And I got news for you. That's not, you know this, Ronbo. That's not Kyle Shanahan's offense. Yeah, you got to win from the pocket, but he does a lot of play action, a lot of rollouts, a lot of bootlegs.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones struggles with those throws. Him throwing on the run is not a pretty thing. Him trying to make things happen is not a pretty thing. And so that comes full circle with what I'm going to say next, Ronbo. In today's NFL, all right, where you got defensive ends and outside linebackers that are running 4.3 40s, Ronbo, 4.4 and 4.3 40s. That wasn't like that in the 90s and in the 80s, all right?
Yeah.
You had maybe your
it's not common now. Yeah.
That's what you see it a lot more now. The athletes that have got their hands in the dirt are more physical, more fast, and they're more disruptive than ever. That's why they get paid the premium that they get paid, second basically to a quarterback. You look at the premium guys.
Yeah.
All right.
20+ mil.
And
easy.
exactly. All right. So that being said, you need a guy, and Kyle has to notice. If he's as smart as we all want to say he is, he's got to notice. And it was proven with Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a good quarterback, all right? Jimmy G was successful. But the one thing that Jimmy G, particularly after he tore his ACL, the one thing he really struggled with, Ronbo, is if the defense, let's say Kyle draws up a play, and the defense we're facing, they draw up a great play too, and it's bound to shut down whatever it is that we're running, we're screwed. We're screwed, Ronbo. We're screwed with the Jimmy G or a friggin' Mac Jones. You're done. You're screwed. Same thing with Matt Ryan. You're screwed. We called that great defensive play in the fourth quarter against the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, and with good coverage of Navarro Bowman, there was nothing that Matt Ryan was going to do to win that game, Ronbo. And that's the problem when you have a quarterback like that. And I don't care who you are. When you play in our division, a division that has the number one defense ranked last year in the Rams, you got the Seacocks that always put out a friggin' decent defense, all right? And now you got the Arizona Cardinals who gave us a little bit of trouble last year, and they just added J.J. Watt to their defensive line. You need a guy that's able to make a play when the original play breaks down. That's the NFL. And in order to win in the NFL, in today's NFL, you got to do that. And I know the argument's going to be said, well, we'll look at Tom Brady. Yeah, look at Tom Brady. They freaking surrounded that guy with more Hall of Famers in one freaking year that I can't even remember, Ronbo.
Oh, it's pissing me off. They just signed AB back, too. Good God. How does that guy manipulate that money?
So in order to make that work, you got to have a roster that's just out of this friggin' world. And let me tell you, that just doesn't happen in today's NFL like that. There's a lot of guys there getting paid a lot of less friggin' money just for the opportunity to play with Brady and get a ring. Those guys ain't taking that less money anywhere else like that.
I know,
all
right? $6 million for AB. You got AB for $6 million. My God.
Exactly, Ronbo. Exactly. All right? So the point is this. It's not about needing a running or a mobile quarterback. No. It's about needing a quarterback that could win from the pocket, with Justin Fields and Trey Lance both can do, just like Mac Jones, but they could also make something happen when the play is gone. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that.
And you said a mouthful, too.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ronbo, and listen, one last thing. One last thing I got to say. I'm going to say it really quick. One last thing, too. If you look at Trey Lance's tape, he is basically running the 49ers.
Okay, Mike, I'm sorry. Production, I get overruled sometimes. Mike, let's finish that tomorrow or on Twitter. But he is, look at the real, it's all caps, R-E-A-L, the real Niner Mike on Twitter. Clarence Molina, no leaks out of the organization. Gotta be Fields with number 3. Oh, yeah. DJ R-I-V. Is that it? It ends right there? No more? DJ Reeve. Maybe it's Reeve. DJ R-I-V. Hey, Michael. And I hope my phone system isn't crashing on us.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Hey. It's Michael, too. Michael, it's great that you made it
How
in today.
come I can't see myself on here?
I don't know. I can see you.
Whatever.
You're going in and out, though. It's flashing back and forth. But, Michael, come on in and let us know your perception of what's going on right now and what is going to take place tomorrow.
First of all, I sent you an email. You need to check that out later.
You use Michael as your Michael in the email too?
It's gonna come under Buck MDM. There's a guy in here called Niner Shrek that is showing pictures in here of me doctored up, and you need to boot him out of here.
Doctored up.
Besides the point. Guys, I'm just saying what he does to get you in trouble when your page it could take your page down. Just put it that way.
Is he on the chat right now?
Yes, he's in here. Niner Shrek, Sheik. I sent you the picture so that you can see it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it can get your YouTube shut down.
The thing is, though, you can't really post up any photos on the chat.
Well, you can in here, but you can on his profile picture, like mine.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You'll see it. You'll see it in there. You just need to. He's a kid, and you need to just whoop him on out of here.
Well, I love to
okay. Well, you ain't got to whoop him, but
kids,
it is what it is. Okay. I wanted to talk about Tom Brady, Mac Jones, real quick. While we're still in here. The Mac Jones. Do you know what his completion percentage is? Why he's under pressure?
Mike, you're talking about Mac Jones.
No, I'm talking Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Okay.
Yes, his completion percentage while under pressure is 54.1%. Mac Jones is 123.9%, and Trey Lance is 117.0%. Which means Justin Fields, when I told you to watch the Indiana game on him, it shows you under pressure, he's horrible quarterback. That's why he will not be drafted in the top 10. Okay. And, stats don't lie. Now, as far as the Jimmy G goes, New England is working on a contract with him.
That'd be tampering. Mike, okay, I've heard that. That can't be accurate.
Okay, but it's the same guy that's reporting it is the same guy that reported that Tom Brady was going to Tampa Bay, and he did that a day before it came out.
And it's also the same guy he's National Hockey League guy. You can't just go draw up a contract with Jimmy G. He's already still under contract with the 49ers. Anyway, that's fine.
If they have permission to, they can.
You think? Okay, but we'll see. All right.
Yeah, it's just like when, hey, let's make this trade, but as part of the trade, we need to rework this contract to get it to where we like it. Otherwise, the trade's off. You see what I'm saying? That happens every year.
And Jimmy's going to agree with all that. All right, but anyway, we'll see.
Yes, he's got to agree with that. I mean, he does have a no trade clause. So, New England ain't going to get him, without it being right for them.
New England has $11.5 million in cap space of this hour. But we'll see. All right.
Well, they can work it. I mean, who knows? We might get a corner for him.
Yeah.
Jimmy G will not be on the team. It will be Mac Jones.
Yeah. Because we don't have a vet. And
Mac Jones
is not starting the season without a vet. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, start the season without a vet. I mean, I don't think Mac Jones. Well, let's go over Mac Jones.
Because you have no idea what he's going to do at the pro level. You cannot use what he did in college.
You stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
He has the best brain, and I ain't talking about book smarts. I'm talking about the best football brain.
Okay.
Coming out.
All right.
He has the best footwork of any quarterback. He throws the ball before they even come out of their breaks. He's the most accurate quarterback, deep, short, or up close. The only problem he has is I think he has a taste for the beer. And that's the only thing I worry about.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that look gorgeous in college. That doesn't mean necessarily they're going to have that same fun at this level. You got to watch and see those guys. They got to come out. They got to prove they can do it. It's a faster game. It's you got more super athletes. It's a different story. You got to wait and see. That sounds good, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I still take a brain over I will anything.
Yeah.
Out of any quarterback.
Well, they're all
if you got somebody that ain't got the football IQ, you don't want them. You can't teach IQ.
But Mike, they've said all three of these guys pretty much got a high football IQ, high IQ, period.
Well,
I don't think that's going to be – and Kyle's going to look at everybody's he's going to test them out and see if they're sharp enough to grasp what he's cooking. But, yeah, we'll find out. Mac Jones, actually, from what I understand, some of the tests that they give out for aptitude, Mac wasn't the highest scoring, was he? As I know of.
No, I thought Justin Fields was the highest scorer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. See, so
the Wonderlic or whatever test it is.
Yeah, I was some kind of aptitude test, but nobody called it the Wonderlic. I don't know. But anyway, Justin Fields is supposed to be the most brilliant mind out there, right? So that's what I'm saying.
I think he's book smarts wise, yes, not football wise.
Well,
I think he's a smart kid in college. with the books and stuff like that. He's got a good.
You need to have an IQ though to deal with Kyle's system, but we're going to see. Mike,
well, from what I understand, Mac Jones has the best, without a doubt, the best photogenic mind of all of them. He picks up things quicker than anybody.
We're going to run out of time. I'm going to put you down for Mac Jones as your choice for tomorrow.
Yeah. Even though I like Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, then Trey Lance, I'm good with any of the three.
All right.
Mac Jones will be the pick.
All right. Gotcha. All right,
later.
Mike, let's see the bottom. Give you credit. All right.
All right.
And there it is. Michael's going with the Jones boy. And Paul III, his message is this. People reporting posters trying to get videos of Jones being wasted and dressing. Okay, this Paul III. All right. I'm not gonna go on with that, guys. Let's not get political on this, guys. And I just realized when we start talking race, we're probably getting political. Let's try to keep that down. Period. Oh, here he comes. Here comes Rudy. All right. Rams reloaded and Stafford ready to roll. I can't believe that he's allowed to have that long of a name. Okay. Anyway, if I was a Niner fan, I'd be mad all the time, too. Yeah, we're the same team that sweeps his team every time we see them, and he's not mad. Hey, Lee. Lee. Oh, Lee.
What should San Francisco do with that number 3 pick?
Yeah. Lee knows.
I knew it was coming. And I know people say
you're going back and forth, right?
Justin Fields.
Lee, we can't air that. All right, Lee, come on in, man.
You're saying Justin Fields, Ronbo, Black Zeus.
So many people are saying Justin Fields, which is really, Lee, I do not understand. I understood that they get over the thing with the fact that Trey Lance came in, did his pro day, and I understand he'd be the flavor of the week. But this is going on 2 weeks now, and Justin is seemingly going dropping, and there's no real reason for it, other than the media pretty much orchestrating it. You know? I mean, what is up with that? And who's coming up tomorrow at number 3?
Well, it's the perfect plan, Ronbo, if they want Justin Fields, because all the hype is around Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. And if you're a GM and you want one of the top 3 quarterbacks, that's the perfect way to get him,
Yeah. So start
I think,
degrading him.
Yeah, and the whole Mac Jones thing is just really silly, Ronbo. Like, if Kyle makes that pick, that's just him being egotistical and moving up in the draft like he did for a guy like Dante Pettis, CJ Beathard, Joe Williams. Like, that's him making a big mistake and just going off a guy that he thinks they can fit the offense instead of the most talented guy on the board. Sitting at 12, you didn't need to give up our entire future to go up and get a Mac Jones. And I think you sort of seen that with a guy like in the presser, Ronbo, with John Lynch when he was talking about, the guy can come in and learn and play when he's ready. And Kyle was saying, no, we need a starting quarterback. Well, if he wants a starting quarterback, to me, you're either going to go Justin Fields as the number 1 talent and can start. Mac, yeah, he could probably come in and start, Ronbo, but you're not really getting much more than what you already have with Jimmy G. You know what I mean? Like, people will see.
And he's got to beat Jimmy G out. I honestly, I don't think any of these guys, you got to learn some things first. I don't think not one of these guys is going to beat Jimmy G out of camp. Now, later on down the street, that's another story. But to start the season, there's a lot to learn.
Didn't you get the feeling, though, Ronbo, that Kyle's trying to push out Jimmy G from the last presser, by, sort of throwing him under the bus and sort of saying, we want a starting quarterback? Because I picked it up in the first presser, If you watch the first presser, he goes, we need a starting quarterback. And then he goes, I mean a rookie. And then he said blatantly in his last presser, we need a starter.
That, but I think he means we're not taking any more second-rate quarterbacks to back anybody up. We're taking a guy out that can start. He means can start because if Jimmy goes down again, he's ruining Kyle's life by getting injured. That's the thing. Because the thing is, Lee, when Jimmy's on the field, the 49ers are going to win 90% of the time. That's just the way it is. But if Jimmy can't stay on the field, they're going to lose that same percentage of times. So Kyle said, give me a guy. If Jimmy does that to me again, this guy comes in and he can start. And then when Jimmy this year or whatever finishes, I'm done with him. That's what I'm thinking. Kyle's thinking.
If we're sticking with Jimmy, how does bringing in Mac Jones help us win more than bringing in Nicole Pitts right now? It doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
But they may be arrogant enough to believe their roster's got enough on it.
Exactly. See what you said, arrogant. And that's why if we take Mac Jones, that's very arrogant thinking by Kyle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's picking Mac Jones in a top 5 run. Nobody's picking. If we pass a Mac Jones, nobody's moving up for Mac Jones. They might move up for Fields or they might move up for Lance, in the top 5, top 6, 7 picks. People who have got Mac Jones, you see this board here, Ronbo? They compare him to Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? Like, look at who Fields is compared to, Deshaun Watson. Hey, and there's a clear difference in talent, right, Ronbo? What he can do.
Did you see what Kyle did also say that? Oh, what was that? I lost that thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, Ronbo, like when you look at Justin Fields, like, everybody's talking about it's Mac Jones. They're all worried it's Mac Jones. The fan base is going to burn the place down and go crazy if we get Mac Jones.
I know.
It's just you can't compare these guys in terms of talent. Like, one's been a top 3 talent this whole process. He was the number 2, Ronbo, if you go back a few months ago until Wilson got all this hype because of how he played this end of the year. But Justin Fields is clearly the best player. Like,
really
any scout will tell you that. The top guys will all say that. Bucky Brooks, Middlecoff, they're all saying, you take the highest guy with the talent. And I can see why people like Trey Lance, because he does have a great ceiling. But the thing with Trey Lance, he's still raw, Ronbo, and he's going to need time to develop. And that's why I take Justin, because I feel like he's more ready. But, Nina Mike was right. And this is what I think it's going to come down to, Ronbo, is Kyle's going to look at the quarterback, right? Sometimes what a coach will usually go off is he wants a guy that can come in and run a system and win games. A scout will look at who's the most talented and who can end up being the best player, And is Kyle going to listen to his scouts? Is Kyle going to take a Justin or a Trey Lance? Or is he going to go, no, I want the guy that can come in now and
at the end of the day.
Win. Yeah. Exactly, and win the system. And if you get a guy like Trey Lance or Justin Fields, they can elevate the offense. Defenses have to watch out. He can run RPOs, Ronbo. He can get the quarterback, on the outside edge running. And that's what defenses hate, because they got to account for the run. They got to account for the pass. You can't just play man, because you got to watch what the running back's going to do. And if he does that, he just makes his offense so much harder. Teams already hate playing against Kyle Shanahan. And if you get a quarterback with multi-skills like that and accurate and can play from the pocket and run outside, it's game over, Ronbo. It's Super Bowl material.
It's just how quickly can he grasp and translate. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put you down for Fields for tomorrow then, Lee, because we're out of time.
No worries, Ronbo. Black Zeus, baby. Let's go 49ers. Thank you, Ronbo.
Thank you, Lee. There he goes. Hey, he's got mine like a steel trap. I love his style. And there's Rudy, year 5 in Kyle Niner era, and still hoping for a miracle. Let's go to Rick. I don't understand how Rudy has.
What's good, Ronbo?
Rick, the thing is, I'm so disturbed. I try not to react to Rudy, but we beat the Rams every year, and he's still in here dropping the little.
The Rams are trash, man.
I don't understand it.
Remember, they're broke. They're broke. They have one Super Bowl win, and that's when they were the St. Louis.
It's St. Louis.
It's not the LA Rams. So
and they've had one good season with us in the last 5 or 6 years, and he's in here dropping notes. Okay. Anyway, Rick, you know about tomorrow, and it's time to make that deal. And can you, Rick, make that call? Who's coming in? Who's going to be drafted?
Absolutely. I'm saying Justin Fields, and my only reason why I'm saying Justin Fields right now because I'm still on the fence on what the Jets are going to do at number 2. But if they take Zach Wilson out, I'm going to go with Justin Fields. For everybody that's saying this Mac Jones crap, it cracked me up because the thing about it is, you name me one good quarterback that came from a powerhouse college team that's transitioned well over into the NFL. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. In the NFL, the NFL is always about struggle. It's about, players going to break down.
How battle tested are you, right?
How battle tested are you? You're gonna have because this whole Mac Jones. Oh yeah, he's so accurate. Anybody can be accurate if he's throwing screen passes majority of the time, and then a lot of times your first read is Waddle or Devontae Smith So I'm like, are y'all serious? Like, what games are y'all watching? It wasn't like Alabama was like a top 50. They were like the number one consistent team, and probably considered one of the best college football teams of all time. And he just happened to be the quarterback, so it wasn't like he had a lot of adversity and something like that. So stop with that bull crap. I'd rather take somebody like Peyton Manning. Remember back when he was with Tennessee, he could never beat Florida. But in the matter of fact, they didn't win. It was T. Martin that won. But I mean, when you have college football QBs who face adversity because they don't have necessarily the best team, everything, the best coach, best receivers, best offensive line, best running back, then guess what? Then you're able to adjust. So that's how the NFL is. Because guess what, Mac Jones? You get to the NFL, it's going to be on a even playing field. You're not going to have the best of everything. And so stop with that bull crap. I promise you, if we get Mac Jones, number one is the Niners will probably be stupid, and they'll probably try to trade Jimmy G because they'll think, oh, Mac Jones is ready to start right now, which will be a bunch of bull crap. When we right now, look, I'm not with you. I'd rather get Justin Fields and Trey Lance, let Jimmy G start the season, whatever, play this year, possibly next year, whatever, who knows. But at least let the other guy get some reps in as far as preseason, practice, and everything else, and get up to speed, whatever. But don't sit there and get no stinking Mac Jones when I've seen the same. I promise you, we've seen anybody that's watched college football. Anybody that watched college football, we've seen the same thing. Back when Tim Tebow, he was like, "Oh, I promise the guys, we're going to win the national championship."
I forgot about Tebow.
Kyle Trask. You go with Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask had a great year, but guess what? He had Kyle Pitts and he had Cantavius Tony and some of these other guys. So it's like, dude, Matt Leinart. You can go with Ken Dorsey. You can go with, back in the day, who else would have been maybe like a Scott Frost or Tommy Frazier? When you have
Rick,
good teams around you.
It goes back to what you started with, though. You said the talent is what pretty much makes Bama. Bama's going to win next year, too. Every year, Bama's either Bama or Clemson, because all the top graded high school athletes are going to either one of those schools, right? So it's kind of interesting to see. It is true. Bama actually could have competed in the NFL.
That's why I laugh at. That's why I laugh a lot of these Mac Jones players. I'm like, you obviously don't watch a lot of college football because nobody last year watching college football thought Alabama wasn't the number one team. Nobody. Everybody said they're the best team in the league. And matter of fact, people were saying they might be one of the greatest. This might be the greatest Alabama team that they ever had. And so you're trying to tell me, oh, now he faced a lot of adversity. Get out of here.
Rick, what's the weakest conference in the NFL, would you say?
I'll probably say it's Pac-10.
No, I mean, it's in the NFL.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Probably the NFC East.
I wonder if
Bama is the worst.
Yeah, I just wonder if Bama could have competed in one of the weakest conferences in the NFL, and how well would they have done? You know, because I wouldn't go that far because I mean I still think they're though. Offensive line,
I would say
wide receiver.
The offensive line was really good. And the thing about it, the thing that cracks me up about a lot of these Mac Jones fans, before the Niners went to trade up to number 3, nobody had Mac Jones in the first round. But all of a sudden, next you know, we go to number 3, and they put an interest in him. And all of a sudden, now he's a top 3 player. But look, I'll call you all tomorrow or this weekend, man. I promise you, I hope it's not Mac Jones.
Who's your player then? Who are you picking? Who's coming into number 3?
I got Fields. I got Fields.
Oh, you did already?
I got Fields.
All right. We'll see tomorrow, Fields. Rick. All right.
I have Fields, man. Hey, man. Hey, Niner faithful, Niner Empire. Doggone Shanahan, do not mess this up. Impact no doggone Mac Jones. And you'll have a good evening, man.
You too.
Okay.
Night, Rick. All right. And Mel says, hey, do you think they'll just toss the Garoppolo jerseys or will they just sew Jones over the name? I got to tell you, I don't know why people think. Jimmy's like, Kyle is not going into the season starting those rookies, guys. I almost guarantee you that. That's just not what he's going to do. You got guys that sign one-year contracts, Trent Williams re-signed because he thought they were going somewhere. You're not going to get him to do that. Oh, God, more Rudy. Niner 75th anniversary year and Niners last place. Rudy, I thought I saw a post where you said good night. Good night, Rudy. And there's Denise. Hi, Ronbo. Happy draft eve. I hope we draft Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Not calling in tonight. Denise, thanks for the contribution. TNT's Denise. Hey, Christopher Hengler. Guys, Denise would not be staying out here because you guys are hassling her. I swear to God, I will get you. Christopher Hengler says, Ronbo, hope we have a good draft and get the best players for our team. So we got our 6 championships next year. Love you, 49er fam. Chris, thanks, fam. Denise, don't be afraid to come in there because if you come in here, I'm going to get rid of a few dudes. So just when you come in, I'll be watching. I will be watching. Telling you dudes, man, don't mess with Denise. I'm serious. Santana!
What's up, Rombo? Draft is tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying, man? And Santana, now, can you see what the future is going to be? Do you know who's going to get picked tomorrow at number 3?
You know, hopefully, and I pray to God, it's Justin Fields. All the way, baby. Let's go, Justin Fields, you know.
Okay.
I mean, what's it called? I don't want that 100 milli dude in my team, bro. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying, Rombo? You don't want that type of guy.
I know what you want. Everybody, you know, but what I want to know is, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow night? It's just one of the things where you may, if you think it's going to be Fields, okay. But if you think otherwise, you should put your money on that. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think is going to happen tomorrow night at number 3?
Yeah. This is going to be Justin Fields, no doubt. He is the guy. He is the best quarterback in this draft, Rombo. He is the best by far. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you something about Mac Jones, right?
Everybody goes
Mac
right
Jones,
to Mac.
right? Mac Jones, right? He sat for 3 years or 2 years in Alabama, right? Behind Jalen Hurts and Tua, right? And he couldn't beat either of those guys, right? So then he comes in and plays good for 1 year. Don't forget, he sat for 2 years learning the playbook.
Actually,
and he couldn't beat none of those guys out.
Last year, though. Did he come in? Tua got hurt.
No, he was there
year.
for 2 years.
Okay.
He was he came in, but he played whatever, you know. But he was there though for 2 years. And
he's been there for a while. He was a true freshman that did not play.
Yeah, exactly. So he's been learning the playbook. So that's why he looks the way he looks, right? and to top it off, he has first round talent all over the place. So when people say Mac Jones is smart and intelligent and throws with the anticipations, because for one, he knows his players very well because he's been there for 4 years or whatever it is, 3 years, and he knows a playbook.
Like Nick Mullins.
I mean, there you go. And what I see is people get, you know, he's fool's gold. That's exactly what he is, man. And you know, and he's just not in the level of Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, man. He's just not even there. He's not in the conversation of even in the top 5 quarterback, to be honest. For me, he's in the tier with Kyle Trask and Davis Mills. That's you know what I'm saying? Kellen Mond is a better quarterback than he is. That's what physically and quarterback wise, you know. And so, I mean, you can't sell me on Mac Jones being better than Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or even Trey Lance, Ronbo.
And you know, it's like last year the big ticket was over with the Chargers, right? What was that guy's name again? Mm-hmm. Anyway, there were supposedly better quarterbacks in the draft than him. He got drafted kind of early though, didn't he?
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. Who got drafted ahead of Herbert?
Oh, I can't say, Ronbo.
See,
but he did fall. I think he was like
he actually was the best rookie of last year. So as I was saying, you forget about the names that got drafted before him because they made a mistake, and that's what we want to avoid this year. You know, don't go get the wrong guy. You know, so
I mean. And come on, Ronbo, that's character concerns. You don't want that as your franchise, you know, the face of your franchise and your future quarterback. You don't want that. You stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? You get the guys that been good that's shown they want to work, they want opportunity and stuff like that. That's Justin Fields or Trey Lance. And you know what? Justin Fields is smart or smarter than Mac Jones. So don't give me that thing that saying that he's an intelligent quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So Justin Fields is smart, or else he wouldn't complete 70% of his passes in the back-to-back years.
Actually,
you know what I'm saying?
All three. No, there's not one idiot in there. I mean, Lance and Fields, and I don't know Jones. It's just So
one more thing, Ronbo. One more thing. Let me give you this right. Last year, Alabama played 13 games. And you know how many times Mac Jones got sacked? 13 times. So that's once every game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Justin Fields played 8 games last year, and he got sacked 21 times. So that should tell you everything you should know.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
8 games and 21 times. And
21 times, Ronbo.
And Bama's got a good offensive line. Oh my God! And all them receivers.
So you got to make
a scary thought. I didn't even know that.
That's why Mac Jones was so accurate, Ronbo. That's why Mac Jones was so accurate. Under pressure, you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I'll tell you what.
So Justin Fields, my guy, Ronbo.
All right, I've got you down for that. You will get full credit for it as soon as they call his name tomorrow night. All right, Santana. Let's see you tomorrow.
All right, man. See ya.
All right, man.
See ya, man. Later.
And Bobo says, draft Penei Sewell to guarantee no injury to Jimmy. Don't get me started on how I would have fixed this team up. Because Tony from Atlanta, the team that's trying to trade Julio, but they have to wait. They can't trade him right now. Deals can be made. And Tony, you guys have how much money left in the pot? You guys got to get rid of some people in order to be able to pay your draft picks. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, and I'm depressed. We got to get. I'm depressed. And I can't believe that they're considering trading Julio. But you
got a feedback going on, Tony. Is there a speaker open somewhere or something? But anyway, yeah. I heard that, and so the Falcons are entertaining trades for even Matty Ice because they need money, and Julio is moved out because you need money. How did it get to that position?
Thomas Dimitroff. He signed players with cheap deals and paid Julio and Matt a bunch of money. So I don't know, because they want to extend Calvin Ridley, who's due for an extension next year. They want to extend Grady Jarrett, but somebody's going to have to go. Man, I'm very down about the Julio thing. Julio's going to come back to haunt them, too, if they do trade him.
Well, it sounds like you're going to have to get rid of Julio and in order to have any money. And because they think Ridley, you combine Ridley and bring on a guy like Pitts or Jamar, you should be fine. But with that savings, but you pretty much got to keep Matty
I don't
Ice.
like that Pitts guy, man. I don't want to get Pitts. I don't think he's going to have 700 yards. I think he's going to be above.
Woo! You
they're
could be
hyping
right.
him so much.
Because these
They're
rookies,
hyping
man.
him all here. Pitts.
Yeah.
Pitts. When Pitts gets hit a couple times over the middle, then we'll see what he's about.
Because an NFL smack is a lot different than a college smack. Hey, but who's calling you? And who's calling Atlanta, though, right now?
Well, I'm still hoping Denver, even though Denver traded for Bridgewater today.
Yep.
Washington probably could, but that's we would have to trade down to 19 for Washington, but I don't care. We can get more.
Yeah.
And Detroit might be in the picture at 7.
3 years
I hear
ago,
Detroit looking for Pitts.
3 years ago, the 49ers would have been all over that deal. They would have picked up Julio in a heartbeat. Man. Now he's available.
Making a lot. He's taking like $22.5 million, though.
Well, 3 years ago, the 49ers had money. So, it's going to be interesting to see how you guys work your way out of that one. Because I'm trying to say, how are they going to draft if they can't afford to pay the players? Does the league have some kind of a fund that they can tap into?
But you know what, though, Ronbo? A A lot of this stuff is smoke and mirrors. I don't think Julio's going nowhere.
Probably not.
I think somehow, some way they're going to work it out. They need to go to Julio's agent and ask him to do a restructure.
Rewrite that contract.
Yeah, don't be afraid of them. It's business, not personal.
I mean, come on, a guy like Julio, as soon as they sit down with the agent, listen, what? Do you know who we're talking about here? This is Julio Jones. I'm not going to tell Julio about this deal. So, it gets rough when it comes to that. Agents are psychos. So.
Yeah, but you guys are pretty excited, Ronbo. I hope you guys don't draft Mac Jones because I don't want to start. That was against you, Ronbo, but I ain't going to lie. I'm going to LMAO, if you know what that means. Because I know your fan base is going to go off and want to tear that place apart.
I still think, I do not believe. I do on one hand because he does fit the Shanahan family mold. But at the same time, there's other options that you can get the pocket presence, and you can still get a guy who is a little more athletic than Mac. I don't know. Tony, you don't know what a coach like Shanahan's looking at. Well, you do because you've seen Shanahan for a while. I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he appreciates the most.
I'm telling you, Ronbo, Trey Lance is y'all's ticket. Trey Lance reminds me of y'all's Hall of Famer, number 8. Only he throws from a different arm.
And he plays under center. He could be Steve Young Jr. Well,
he plays under center. He's very, very intelligent. He studies a lot of film, and he's accurate, man. I mean,
I put him in my mock.
When to take off, when not.
I put him in my mock today just because I think Kyle probably sees something he can work with. He doesn't have any habits that he has to break. He doesn't have any flaws in particular. He's got everything you need. Kyle's going to say, listen, you're going to sit down, and you're going to learn, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Tony, we're going to go. Let's see tomorrow. I hope your situation improves because we like you. Atlanta should not suffer. So we'll see you later.
I took the next couple of days off, so do my little board, my mock draft. So I will be talking to you tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night, Tony. Let's be all right. Hang in there.
All right. Take care.
You too. PTC. He says Mac equals Leinart, Fields equals Vince Young. Trey equals T. Pryor. These are not good things. He's called all three of them a bust. Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, all the comedy in the world, because the 49ers are taking this. Emilio, this is an annual event with Kyle and John. Trent Baalke never had us going through all this. And now, Kyle and John, every year, we haven't had a year yet since 2017 when they didn't come in and mess with your mind. I wanted a wide receiver last year, and they gave me Javon Kinlaw. I'm not mad at that no more. But still, Kyle, can y'all stop? Just be like next year. Give us like Jacksonville and the Jets. Say things that people don't even talk to you no more. Nobody talks to Jacksonville and New York, but the 49ers providing all you need to entertain the masses for weeks, Emilio. 49ers, Jimmy's going to New England. 49ers are said to like Mac Jones. Is it possible the 49ers could be trading down? I mean, everybody's talking about the 49ers. There we are. What? Emilio, what's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, first off, when's the Niners? Why wouldn't they not talk about it?
I know.
Good or bad.
Good point.
We're the team that always get talked about no matter what. Even if we're sucked, even if we're amazing. We're Super Bowl champs.
True.
We don't win again. We're always talked about. What's the difference? That doesn't change nothing.
It's amazing, ain't it?
Ain't
nobody talk about the Raiders and John Gruden over there sucking for years.
Not to give what's the name, Rudy holler or anything. But hey, when the hell do they ever talk about the Rams?
I know, right? I was getting ready to mention them next. The Rams doing all kind of strange things. Ain't nobody talking about them. They still manage to compete, though.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I can't knock them like I want to. Damn it.
Hey, like I said, the Rams haven't been good since Kurt Warner. So other than that, they haven't been irrelevant.
And that was in St. Louis.
Pretty much, exactly. So they've never been relevant in LA. The last time they were good, I forgot the running back. Oh, when Jerome Bettis was on the team. It was the last time they were relevant in LA. And that was years ago.
Bettis? I thought he was always with the Steelers.
Yeah, Bettis was. No, he was with LA, and then he got traded to the
team. See, his legacy is in Pittsburgh, but
no, his legacy is Pittsburgh. But no,
Yeah.
he started in LA.
The Rams didn't know no better. That's right. Well, but Emilio,
But anyway,
tomorrow night, Kyle's gonna. Were you one of the people who said Kyle's gonna go where he's comfortable, and he may not be comfortable with Fields or Lance, and it's probably is. Was that who said
Hell
that?
no, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me at all.
Somebody
I
did
said
say
he needs to change his offense a bit.
Yeah.
I think that was the show. He's over there in love with
Yeah, show
2.0.
did say something like that. That's true.
He's in love with Garoppolo 2.0.
I don't know that he likes. Well, he does. I don't know how Show really feels about Mac Jones. I think he thinks Mac Jones has what Kyle wants.
Well, me technically, if you're rooting for a quarterback to be on your team, is who you really like. Like, that's the thing. Either if you really does like him or not, whichever. Or it's like, with you like whatever quarterback you like. That's the quarterback you like. You're rooting for the other team. I like one quarterback, rooting for the team. So either way, if you're rooting for the quarterback, it's who you like. It doesn't matter who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, or anybody else on here. It don't make a difference. One quarterback you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for tomorrow just to see what it is, and I gotta listen to it off the radio. I can't watch it. I gotta be at work during that time, so I gotta keep my headphones on the whole time. As soon as I hear, see if I'm be disappointed or I'm gonna be happy.
Just don't be no place where if you say something wrong, somebody say, "Hey, watch your mouth." You don't want to hear it,
people curse the next thing in my job like crazy. So
so you'll be mixing right in, because there's gonna be a lot of bad words said by a lot of people if they jump up and say, Mac Jones, Alabama. Oh, people are going to be mad. Mad.
I put it to you like this. I was thinking, and I had called it, and I had said we were going. I feel like with all the trades, before we made the trade for number 3, I was thinking this team has a real good chance to go to the Super Bowl. Winning's another thing, but I was thinking with Jimmy and the team is ready with Kill, everybody. All we needed, like I said, a few pieces, and then we drafted all these guys. We re-signed everybody. And I was thinking Super Bowl.
Stay
and I
off
was
the
thinking my
IR.
Super Bowl,
That's
Super
number
Bowl
1.
picks. Yeah, that was I was thinking my 2 Super Bowl picks was the Niners and Bills. But I was thinking this shit way before all these trades and everything else. I was like, well, now if we get Mac Jones, I don't know. I don't really think this guy, thinking he can win some games. I honestly don't see him this year even getting close. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to fall apart and not even make the playoffs.
He'll be like Love over in Green Bay. You can get drafted in the first round. It don't mean you're starting. So, we're going to see what happens.
I just know we don't need another drunk on the team. We don't need a drunk ass dude on the team. We already got one DUI. He's going to come to the Bay, and that dude's going to end up getting another DUI. So I don't know.
We're going to run out of time. Who are you committing to? Who's getting picked tomorrow at 3 then?
Oh, I want Justin Lance.
Justin Lance? You mean Trey or Justin Fields? You want Justin and Lance?
Yeah. Yeah, I take them both.
All right. Emilio says he wants Fields and Lance. Fields or Lance.
I want Trevor Fields. I take that. Either way. I mean, either go with the one.
We ran out of time. We got to roll. But
as long as it's not drunk ass Jones, I'm good.
We'll see you tomorrow, Emilio. We got you. All right, fam.
All right.
Have a good night. And Paul Third also says MJ Online allowed 10 sacks regular season, 3 in the CFP. All Bama O-linemen projected to go in the first 4 rounds. Can you believe that, man? I tell you. Clarence Molina says Fields at number 3. No government mac and cheese with hot dogs Jones. These creative names. And there he is. The Iron. I got to watch draft day again. I watch that again tonight just for fun. The Iron Sheik. He's sourdoughs. He's adding sourdoughs. Sam,
draft day.
I love what you're doing with this picture.
I was trying to put you on there, but it didn't work out.
I like sourdough in there, especially what he's doing. Hey, Sheik. Right. Okay, now you've heard the madness tonight, and everybody's got a solid argument. But you know what, Sheik? Nobody is moving away from their heart's desire. Now, Sheik, knowing our man Shanahan, and he is going to be the guy with the last word on this, even though people are running down the hallways of Santa Clara. Kyle, can I just have a word with you? Listen, if you're going to start in on me about Mac Jones, don't. Kyle, I said no. I've got to go do something else. It's Kyle is just like, if he made up his mind already, they're not going to change it. And Sheik, that's why insights. What's Kyle's mind made up to do? And your choice for tomorrow at number 3. You're on.
Well, this is how I look at it. I think the guy they've been wanting from day one, I think it's Trey Lance. And the reason why I say it's this different level, a type of level that could do with this guy. The arm strength, I just picture him doing jet sweeps with this guy. And other than giving a Debo, he just runs him himself.
Yeah.
He has a potential to be Josh Allen. If you guys remember, during that week against Josh Allen that we played, he was giving praise that he was one of really, really good quarterback. And I really think
like him. It's true.
So he's the type of guy that could definitely go in. There's different type of skills he also has as well. With the Justin Fields, I really like him as well. If I had a choice, I'd probably say Fields slightly, but I'd probably be happy with Lance, either or. But Lance is my guy that right now, technically, right, if Fields is out. The reason why I don't say Mac Jones is because nobody talks about DOI. And people say that he has brains, but if you have a brain, that you will not get a DOI. So, so technically, is this the type of guy that you want for the future? But Trey Lance should be the guy, Ronbo. So
I put him in my mock. As I said, he gives you good pocket presence. He can play under center. He's got speed. He can move. He's a freak. He starts running, and you get in the way, you'll get hurt. I like that kind of guy.
Right.
I just don't know. But the experience does concern me. And I wonder how quickly. But he's a sharp kid, and the curve may be a little shorter than people imagine.
They're all sharp guys, but it's the mistakes that Mac Jones did, and you guys gonna pay this guy millions soon.
Especially first round pick at number 3, he gets paid grand theft dough as a rookie quarterback. Ooh,
right. Man, that's a lot of money. And the last time any type of quarterback came from that school is Joe Namath.
Hey, you know what? We got to be. That's a long. There's Bama. All those championships and not one quarterback that stands out. And Tua is struggling. Let's see what he looks like next year. But yeah, that's true.
And the thing is, what I know, I was watching this podcast a while ago. I forgot, it was just random on Spotify. So, anyways, he was saying the thing about Nick Saban, what he does, he pushes everything out of these players, and then when they become a pro in the NFL, they become bust. And other than wide receivers, obviously, but there's a lot of prospects that come to that school and they become bust, and that's a big, huge red flag. And that scares the hell out of me because this is this type of team right now is ready to win, not ready to rebuild. Yeah, we have all these guys, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, all these death pieces that we have. We cannot have this opportunity to go backwards, because this is a type of, in the Jimmy G situation, people are saying reports that he's going to be gone. Okay, well, like Eric Davis said, and he's right. He says if you go give up Jimmy G, you will be in a revamp of a team. It's going to be different system. The guy come in. God forbid he might not even have OTAs, maybe preseasons. So it's going to be a difficult process. The film work is everything. You have to nail that down. Is Trey Lance? Yeah, he can, but you have to have that guy. And I hope Jimmy G stays. But if he leaves tomorrow or the following day, then they better pick the right guy, because you can't force a guy come in just like that. You have to be ready. You have to be sure of this guy. But the thing is,
and the rest of the guys do not have time to wait for him to catch up. This is why I know G starts this season.
Right, and I feel the same way. And then the value goes up. Let's be real. Like everybody's thinking, oh yeah, give him away. We say, dude, we could give him up, and then the following year and save still money, and the trade value becomes a first round, not a third, not a
your rookie. And your rookie's starting to get it. He's starting to adjust to the speed, because you know what? In the NFC West, if you better know what you're doing. You will be meat. They'll make sure of that quick. So, yeah.
But yeah, Ronbo, let me just say this about, there's another rumor that's going on is Julio Jones.
That's not a rumor. They don't have any money in Atlanta. They got to find.
They don't have money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Kyle, you're obviously picking all your guys from the past. Go get your guy that you've been rocking with and you love it. Bring his butt back.
Julio makes $22 million. Hey,
$22 million.
Did she?
Yes, sir.
He only gave Lance. She wouldn't run out of time.
Lance,
tomorrow night's gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna see tomorrow after the pick.
But regardless, faithful, he's gonna be remove yourself from any high items around you. Just trust the process. Allow Kyle get his guy. End of the day. But go Niners, faithful. Hit that like for Ronbo Sports. And shout out to you, sir. And shout out to TNT. And Denise, come back. We love you.
Yeah. No, Denise, come back. I guarantee you will be safe. I will nail those clowns right and left. Next time I'm going to take no timeouts. Just get out. All right, see you tomorrow, fam.
Have a good night.
You. And Vernon Freeman says, if you build it, Lombardi will come. Fields of dreams to the Bay at 3. Vernon, that's kind of poetic. I like that. And Papa Dragon. Papa D, Papa D, Papa D, Papa D. There he is.
What is your question, my son?
You forgot the Papa D. Tonight, we are trying to find out.
Are you ready, Ronbo? Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Bob, run it down, because I know you know what's going on. What up?
Oh, I know what's going on. It's crazy. It's real crazy. A lot of interesting things happening on the web right now.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
There's I know a lot of dirt's been coming out about Mac Jones, and it's troubling. And I don't see how they could pick this dude just with the dirt. And number two, there's also kind of a kind of like a redacting situation happening too, where they have a team of people trying to cover it up. So it's been very interesting watching the headlines of the news, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, because they're trying to keep a lid on a lot of these things. So we'll see what happens. But
Pop, they're not actually. They're opening the lid on everything. People, reporters and analysts and everybody else has got a site out there lying. And they're just making stuff up as they go. Schefter, Lombardi, some other guys, they've got enough integrity that they don't do that kind of thing. But there's some guys that you never see put anything up, got little check marks in there. I question whether that check is real or not. And they're just saying outrageous things. Y'all, and don't be telling me sources. Tell me who is the source. Oh,
well, they can't.
Man.
I see exactly what you're saying, but what I mean is that obviously it's definitely a hate campaign going on for Mac Jones right now. But like I said, when I did my deep dive on him, You know, he's the kind of kid. You know, I went to college with, man. Somebody who comes from money. You know, he went to the best private schools. He had a professional football tutor in high school.
Quarterback.
Yeah, but he's a
Big
great
man
A
on the
student.
campus.
But on the weekends, man, he turns into Kavanaugh. You know, on the weekends he's getting liquored up. You know, going crazy. So, unfortunately, based on what I see,
I remember those guys. They were like squeaky clean, all-American boys. But if you knew them beyond that, you knew the student was low down dirty. I knew so many guys like
dirty.
that. God, that was hilarious.
I know. No, it's a culture. It's a culture. But bottom line is that, you know, I look at it like this. You know, Trey aced both pro days. Probably had the second best pro day outside of Zach Wilson. And more importantly, he aced the one that was organized by Kyle. He has aced all the public appearances and Zoom meetings with every NFL team that's out there. So whoever gets him is going to be very lucky. He does have the highest football IQ, who some have compared to Peyton Manning, and he has the strongest arm in the class. And the only player calls his own plays and protects us at the line of scrimmage. I didn't even say anything about him being mobile. He's got great size. You know, I mean, I'm going to obviously stick with my mock on it, but here's the problem. Here's the good news and the bad news. Man, the 49ers never take who I tell them to. They never take who I want them to take. They never do. Only time they ever did it was Bosa. That was the only time I was like, okay, they can't mess up Bosa, can they? So whatever the case is with Mac and with some things people are saying are just stupid. Like some people are like he's a Trumper. Yeah, he is. And he has a lot of Trumpian things.
See?
But
that's what I'm talking about. But
it has nothing to do with football. It has nothing to do with football.
They said the same thing about
It has nothing to do with football.
I mean, Nick.
But it has nothing to do with football. But some of the stuff that concerns me is that I don't think the rest of the dirt's going to be done coming out yet. But what does trouble me is that his football interviews go well. But when he gets out there and starts talking to people regularly, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. So you can tell he definitely has maturity issues. You can definitely tell that he's never worked a hard day in his life. Yeah, he's got maturity issues. Me personally, you know, I would draft him, but I would draft him in like the 3rd or 4th round just because of the DUI. But that's me. But I just think that ultimately, if you show up at a pro day, which is like a job interview, he showed up like he already had the job. So I do think that he was the number one choice from the get-go. The press conference, I believe, happened after a heated meeting between Shanahan and the staff, and that spilled over into the press conference. So Kyle put everything out there.
Match, you know?
I think it's a level of frustration. It's like I think Kyle's like, "How dare you question the Kyle Shanahan?"
I'm in charge on the field, guys. I'm in charge on the field. Let me do my job, okay? Let me do my job, okay? And this, when you start doing that, then things do get heated up, and everybody just gets quiet. Kyle, you know, we just think you should expand your thinking on this matter. We're not saying we're trying to take your job, you know. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. But if Adam Schefter says that they're shopping, that they're trying to work out a trade with New England, it's probably the truth.
Schefter said that? I saw some guys say it, but I didn't see Schefter say it.
No. It's out there now. It's out there for real. So they are trying to move him now. They're trying to move him right now. And there's other reports out. I don't know how far things are going. My understanding is that right now, Garoppolo for the Patriots is plan B. They want to see who's available and if they're going to trade up. And if they decide not to trade up, then they'll trade for Garoppolo, which means that probably maybe a 4th or 5th round pick this year or next year.
If the 49ers go for it, it's got to be a first round, though. They already made that clear. Because the 49ers...
It's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. Teddy Bridgewater went for 6.
It's one of those last...
I mean, who's worth more?
Pop, we're going to run out of time, though. We're over time already. I got to see this happen, though, because if Kyle goes into the season with a rookie, I'm going to be shocked. It just doesn't fit his character. But anyway, hey.
No, he torpedoed it. It's going to be Mac. I'm not pulling for Mac. I'm pulling for Lance.
Right. It's Lance. All right, Pop. We got to go. Oh, you killed Pop. All right. PTC, all the Busted Fields fanboys All the Justin Fields fanboys go cry tomorrow. Let me change his name. Oath. Come on in, man.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing?
Oath, man. It's the night before the draft, and all kinds of things are going crazy now in the media. Social media, the things you hear, especially tonight, unless you hear the deal's been consummated or something like that, we're going to hear a lot of madness between now and tomorrow, right? So it's already going to be stressful enough to know that if you got a favorite quarterback, is he going to be the one they're going to pick tomorrow too? So it's getting crazy. But what are you thinking as far as tomorrow's pick?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm pretty confident on the pick. If he's not selected by the Jets, it's going to be Fields.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
And there's quite a few reasons for that. One is just all the smoke is on Lance and on Jones. It's been on them for a while. Actually, if you look at when Jones really started to get hyped up, it was around March 3rd, March 4th by Chris Sims when he released those QB rankings. We traded up around March 26th or so that was like a few weeks later. But if you remember during the press conference with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they said they were looking to trade up for weeks.
Yeah,
so
right.
just
I remember
think
reading
about
that myself. Yes.
Yeah, they were saying
so
they were
long
looking
before
to trade
then
up for weeks.
And
Yeah,
they
so
couldn't
that's the thing.
Get anybody to bite later on the pecking order. That is why they're at 3, not because they were desperate for a certain quarterback. They knew what they want, but they didn't want anything up that high. So that's telling, isn't it? Is that where you're going with this?
No, I'm going more like that. Chris Sims released that specific QB ranking.
Oh, on purpose.
Yeah, he tried to do that before they moved up, and we already know that Chris Sims, like, he's already run interference for Kyle Shanahan.
Before.
So we already know that. And this regime does not leak.
Ever.
So the fact
This is why I know
the
these
fact
deals we're
that
hearing,
why is
BS.
it suddenly that all the Jones hype and then you have Trey Lance? It's almost like no one's talking about Fields. Everyone's talking about why are they not even considering him?
Mm-hmm.
And do you follow 95.7 The Game, the Bay
Always.
Area?
Yeah.
Did you listen to it today?
Not today though. Not yet.
Mike Holmgren.
Yeah.
Mike Holmgren was on today.
And what did he say? What's he talking about?
And so you already know that this guy, he led the #1 offense with the Niners. He trained as a QB coach Joe Montana, Steve Young. He trained Matt Hasselbeck. He had #1 offense. He was probably the best QB coach and evaluator on the planet, actually.
Then
Him and Mike Shanahan.
Did a good job with them.
And what he's done in Green Bay and everything. And so they asked him. So they didn't name any names at all. They asked him, straight out, if you're the 49ers at #3, who would you pick? And then he said, I would select Justin Fields. And he said the reason why was because he said it was the impression he was getting, it's like Steve Young. And the reason why is because he was saying, he specifically said that if I were training Justin Fields, if I had him, if I was his coach, I know that I could easily fix those specific issues that people criticize him for, like his feet work around the pocket, those types of things. But I cannot teach him his arm, his speed, his talents. And it's the same thing with Steve Young. So it's like he was actually saying that Justin Fields, like, he can make him into like a Steve Young. And to me, that's huge, because this is someone who trained Joe Montana to MVP, Super Bowl MVP and MVP seasons. He's the one who trained Steve Young. He taught him about footwork, things like that. And he said, I could fix Justin Fields' so-called issues, but I cannot teach his talents. So that's what I'm saying. Look at this smoke. Yeah, the smoke is on the other candidates, but for some reason, the one candidate who is now liking the Steve Young by like probably the greatest QB talent evaluator, who actually has like a cousin to the he runs the West Coast offense, so which is like a cousin to the Kyle Shanahan offense. I want to end there with that. It's just the smoke is on those other two for a specific reason,
and
it's
the
because we're going to be
always go away from what the media's talking about. Oh, we're going to run out of time though, so I'm going to put you down for Justin Fields as a choice, as you've already even said that you are confident. I love it.
Definitely, yeah, and be sure to listen to that interview if you can. It's actually pretty interesting.
Check that out.
Yeah, you take care and have a good night.
All right, you have a good night too. Well, there it is. Stealth bombs. You got no audio, from what I'm being told. You got to push another couple of buttons. All right, work on that. Unless you get it right now, it's usually just one maneuver. We used to put instructions in the app on how to handle that. Stealth, are you going to get in here? All right, we're gonna have to go to the Stealth. Work on that. We'll be back to you. Are we? Because did we run out of time here? Are we done? We're gonna be done. Stealth. Stealth. Can you get it, Stealth? Anyway. All right. He says, don't disrespect Steve Young like that. So one thing about the 49er Empire, we do have passion behind what we believe in, don't we? But we still come together as one. United we stand, divided we fight. We constantly do. It's going to be just like every year, though. There's no way to know. And Shanahan and Lynch, this is why I've said, these things you're going to hear tonight, don't listen. You get Shanahan and Lynch, whatever rumors you're hearing, they didn't say a word. And that thing coming out of New England, England's writing up a contract. Bullshit. New England's writing up a contract. Belichick's trying to find a way to trade up to get Justin Fields to sell. So, we'll see what happens on tomorrow, though, at number 3. And I got your recording here. And we'll see you tomorrow. Before the draft, a few minutes. Can we stand it? I God, that's the most cardio workout you can get.